I hit go live again.
I refresh. Oh, refresh the page even. Oh,
It should be okay now, hopefully.
there we go. Yep.
We good? We're back?
We back. I
Anyway.
see we back.
Here's the fish. I don't know how long the stream was frozen, but here's the fish.
Holy shit, the fish!
Yeah, so when the worms hit the bottom, they didn't just hit the bottom. They fucking battering rammed the fucking gate. And they burst it open. And the fish came out.
The fish came out?
The fish.
The fish.
The fish. I can turn off this. So what does this mean?
Yeah.
Now when fans visited Blaseball 2, they were greeted by red fish bursting from the broken gate. While the monitor was quick to point out that there were herring, my favorite, an arguably more important discovery was that this allowed players to upshell certain investigation events and get a red herring. So if you went into, I don't know, maybe the Ohio Worms, if I check out Liquid Friend 2, feed, special, maybe not. If you went back into, let's see the original Liquid Friend, or actually no, Uncle Plasma, because we saw some in Uncle Plasma's earlier. Uncle Plasma the first, here we go, he's yoked, he's legendary, so this is the original Uncle Plasma special. So right here, it says Uncle Plasma sensed something fishy. This is just like him doing his regular investigation. He had a hunch. Where'd you go, friendo? Like all these things where it's like something weird happened. Uncle found a lead, traces of coffee at the shoe stadium. If you gave these things a peanut, if you gave them the Blaseball equivalent of a thumbs up, the peanut icon would be replaced with an image of a herring. And in your inventory, along with all your snacks and things, you would receive a red herring as an item. Let me see if I can do that, just as a curiosity on here. There's 1,000 peanuts, Uncle Plasma, feed, special. So you go. So you see how some of them are red. This one that says like they're triple threats, regular thing, give a peanut. Okay, good. You gave it a 1, you give it a +1 or whatever. But this one, Uncle Plasma feels like they missed something. You click on that, and this one's highlighted in red for some reason. And if I go into my inventory, maybe if I refresh it here, I guess it's not really working on the Reblaze website. But now that I gave that thing a thumbs up, I gave it a peanut, I should have an item in my inventory that's just, I have a red herring now.
Okay.
Liking these posts would give you a red herring as an item. So there was this new item in the game, and nobody really knew exactly what it did. Well, we immediately figured out what it did, actually. With the red herrings in hand, friends realized that they could use the herrings to react to redacted entries in the library. Much the same way that they could use peanuts to react to messages in the feed.
Holy shit!
So, if I go to info in the library, what's a good example of something? Here. So now you got a few of these, like an umpire appeared, here's a few things that are happening. Some of these say pickled herring. So instead of giving it a peanut, you'd give it a pickled herring instead. If you had, if a post got 1,000 pickled herrings, it would be unredacted. And we'd be allowed to see what it said. So suddenly, these events in which, like, season 1, day, at Season 1, we got access to more of these library books. We got, like, we learned there was a Season A, post-Season A, Season Elections, Season B, an Eclipse, a save, an alternate, like, we got all these things, and we learned about all these random events. And you were just able to unredact anything. And just due to the number of spaces in the text, some fans had a general idea of what some of these things were. This message was absolutely huge, so fans knew, like, this was probably, like, somebody listing off items. Stream Elements is just now telling me I'm live. Cool. You're a little bit behind. And then there was all this, whatever the fuck this was. Oh my god. This was scary. So this is when we started learning, like, oh, we can learn anything we want. However, rather than simply having Luocrates repeat messages when they reached 1,000 reactions, because that was a thing. There was a Twitter account for Luocrates, and anything that received 1,000 peanuts would be posted on Twitter. So some fans found some really funny events in Blaseball, such as the pies put the fax machine in the oven, and they gave it 1,000 peanuts, and then the Luocrates would have to go on Twitter and say they put the fax machine in the oven.
Hell yeah.
So instead of Luocrates making a message about it hitting 1,000 reactions, a redacted message with 1,000 carrying would be unredacted, revealing the entry and occasionally giving fans access to additional information surrounding the events, such as player pages or even new teams appearing in the Hall of Flame. So if a new team was mentioned that we had never heard of before, and we unredacted the information, we'd learn about them. Hey, here's another team, the Canada Artists. They're dead.
Huh?
There's only one player on the entire team, named Egan Espinoza. They have the ability Fire Protector. This player will protect their teammates from incineration. We understand now. I think I mentioned a long time ago that there was a player named Raul Leal who held an item called the Iffy Jr. that had the same rule. Raul Leal protected his team from incineration. Protecting your team does not mean protecting yourself. Raul Leal was incinerated just randomly one day, and a lot of fans argued that it was unfair because Raul was part of the team and thus should have protected himself, but that's just not how the rules of Blaseball work. So in this case, Egan Espinoza protected the rest of his team from incineration. When the Canada Artists were incinerated, everybody else got to live, but Egan died with the team itself. So Egan is the only Canada Artist in the Hall of Flame, because the entire team got incinerated, but Egan was the only one on it. The fans uncovered a new event, players, and teams. They incidentally shared and recorded the results until they finally uncovered the first message in an eclipse.
Oh.
So in the library, somewhere in, was it Prehistory 2 or Prehistory 1? In Eclipse. So this is when we have to start getting into the events of the seasons that begin with letters.
Okay. Oh god.
This is the part where I said I wouldn't want to get into it.
But
we have to go all the way up. This is the beginning. This is prehistory as we know it. We learned all of this information within the span of only a few real-life hours. Because as soon as fans gained the ability to read things in the library that was previously redacted, fans grouped together to find the most important things in the library and unredacted the most important things first. So we knew exactly what happened. And all of this information kept leading to like, wait, if this happened, then this thing's important. We have to open this one. What's this one? And like people were just scrambling around the library trying to find as much information as they could. So, allow me to read Blaseball, the history of Blaseball prior to season 1. The first day of Blaseball, first edition, known as God's Day. Prior to the events, prior to the start of the season, the first sun, the sun that we all knew in the beginning, was forged by Namerfiet, which we had no idea who the heck that was, but the name literally it's literally just the word the fireman written backwards.
Oh!
The fireman forged the sun. 5 bases were placed, and 30 teams joined Ultra League Blaseball. Following this, an umpire appeared, and on March 1st, 1983, day 1 of the first known regular season of Blaseball. The game lasted until day 162, which is very long, at which point leaders and MVPs were named prior to the commencement of the postseason. So we have no idea what leaders are, but like MVPs, we kind of learned like in Blaseball as we know it, those are the people who get put in the fucking vault.
Yep.
And then the championship happened. Season B, we have no information about what happened in Season B. Season C, Incineration of the Alaskan Immortals. There was a player known as Parker McMillan. A player named Parker McMillan, who, if that name is familiar to you, that is the name of the commissioner currently, Parker McMillan V.
Oh shit! Oh yeah, fuck!
Parker McMillan.
Wasn't he the one on trial?
Parker McMillan III was the one who died in the trial.
Got it. Just gotta make sure. Got it.
Yeah, let me see. Let's go to season 99. Season 29, season 21, day 99. Here we go. Here's Parker McMillan. Here, look at all this bullshit on him. Let's see.
Assessing for past mistakes.
So, It might actually be easier for me to look at the library. Let's go to Season B in the library. Season B, it's just kind of blank. We got some people getting MVPs. Nothing that really matters. Season B, Eclipse. When did... What happened here? I'm trying to figure out when something happened, because something important happens here. Where is the important thing? Where is it?
Wasn't it like...
So something about... I'm looking for an election. I'm looking for an election result somewhere. Maybe it's in Parker's page. I have to look. Things are... There's some like really important shit that I'm like missing here and I can't find it. Postseason? No. Season B. No. Where is History 2? Second season? This is where a whole bunch of the teams show up now. Where's the bit with Parker? I keep clicking on these pages. I don't need these anymore. I will find this information. It is important. Also, say something real quick. Okay, I'm just making sure all the audio on the Discord on OBS is working because it reset.
Oh yeah, fair.
There was something important, and I'm missing it here. Because there was some text that came up in a certain color, and I don't know where that is. All. Here's a bunch of games we can watch.
Ooh.
These have nothing to do with this team. Parker.
This is...
I'm looking for Parker specifically, please, game.
Be nice to Parker.
Game, be nice. Let me see what am I looking at here? Changes, plays, special, all. Something about some of these settings seems to... Oh, here we go. Oldest first. Firemarker. Profit. That's not peanut to me.
No problem. I just need to throw peanuts. Yeah, it's
That's
a little
fine.
quiet.
Understandable. There was... I wish I could find where it was in the game. I don't know where it is, but if I go to postseason B, was it B or A? The Eclipse, Instability, Phoenix, Trunks. Well, I guess since I have access to Parker, I'll show you Parker.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just not on a good enough season. I mean, I'm missing information, but let's look at everything Parker has.
Yeah.
And I think it'll tell a story with the abilities he has.
Okay.
Profit. This player pays out 10 times the rewards for all idle snacks.
Holy shit.
So if you put Parker as your favorite, you made 10 times as much money. Then there was a thing called non-profit. This player does not pay out snack rewards for fans of their own team.
Okay.
Parker used to play for the Alaskan Immortals, by the way. So if Parker was on the Alaskan Immortals, even if you had Parker as your favorite player, and your favorite team was the Immortals, you made no money off of him. If you were a fan of another team and you said Parker was your favorite, you would make the money.
Okay.
So Alaskan Immortals are not allowed to make this insane money that they can be making off Parker because Parker is on their team. I'm going to skip over the second. I'm going to skip over the third one and go on to the fourth one. On an Odyssey, this player is boosted by 2% every single time they join a team. Ooh, yeah, Blaseball. Super Roaming. This player will roam at the end of each week and each season. Oh. So every 9 days in Blaseball, Parker would leave whatever team he's on and go to another one. So pretty much every team is allowed to have access to his money, as long as he's just not on the team. And just so you know, these are all in order of in the order he got them. So first he made a bunch of money, and then he was no longer able to make money for the team he was currently on. I'm skipping over this one. I'll get to that. Suddenly he got these two, which kicked him off the team and made him so he can go anywhere. That kind of tells a story in its own right. He made a bunch of money, Somebody made it so their team wasn't allowed to make any money. So somebody made it so he's allowed to leave the team so they could start making money again.
Huh.
The only problem is they did this despite the fact that this third thing existed. When this player leaves a location, they leave instability behind.
Oh. Oh.
So every single time Parker left a team, every 9 in-game days, at the end of every single season, the entire team would become unstable.
That. Huh.
Which makes it so. Which, of course, instability is a status effect for those who don't know, which makes it so you're more likely to become incinerated during solar eclipse weather.
This seems concerning. Huh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Huh.
so what I believe happened, which I can't find any information on it. Let's see. Scores eclipse. It doesn't really say exactly how it happened. What happened? One thing we did eventually figure out, and I can't find where in the game it says this, is back in Blaseball, like the original Blaseball, like this 1980s version of Blaseball, there were mechanics that existed in this game that don't exist in Blaseball as we know it, and one of those things was like inflicting curses on people. So some of these abilities that Parker has were classified as curses. Teams from other teams were allowed to put abilities on your players as like negative curses. So Parker originally made 10 times the money, like always. Like that's just something he had. I don't know exactly when he gained access to that. Hi, Mono. So Parker was just a moneymaker, like insanely good. And as this game went on, we learned more and more about other teams. We only looked at the Immortals and the Canada Artists, but there was a bunch of teams in Blaseball back in the day. So many teams. There was 30 teams, and we kind of gained access to looking at a whole bunch of them. They were all really shitty compared to the Alaskan Immortals. The Immortals were fucking amazing. They were like the best team in the league, no questions asked. And every other team was actually kind of shit. And it most likely had to do with the fact that Parker played for the Alaskan Immortals. If you were a fan of any other team, you probably hated Parker and thus didn't choose him as your favorite, and thus you didn't make a whole bunch of money, and that was just kind of out of spite. And because you didn't make a lot of money, you didn't have as much voting power during the elections. So you usually lost your elections to the Alaskan Immortals, who would then take all of the profits, and it was unbalanced because of Parker.
Yeah, it was very one-sided, yeah. Huh.
So somebody had put these two curses on Parker, either at the same time or very close in a time period. Somebody put a curse on Parker that made it so this player does not pay out to the fans of his own team. So the Alaskan Immortals were no longer allowed to make money off Parker as long as Parker was on the team. And somebody else put this curse on Parker, saying if Parker ever leaves the team, your team is going to become unstable.
Okay.
So not only are you not allowed to make money off this guy, you're not allowed to get rid of him. You guys are kind of gonna have to deal with this guy now. Fuck you. Somebody, and when I say somebody, I mean somebody whose name was highlighted in yellow. I cannot remember where this text popped up in game, but it said like during one of the elections, it said you voted to revoke Parker McMillan from your team, and the word "you" was highlighted in yellow, glowing golden yellow. Which, as we've learned throughout the game, anytime text is said in gold and yellow, it's something said by the boss of the game. Something said by the golden coin, the boss, the person in charge. It is very heavily implied that she had been watching Blaseball since all the way back now, like to this time in like the 80s. And she was probably the one who put in the massive amount of votes to kick Parker off the team. And when you use the revoke thing in the election, you don't just kick somebody off the team, you give them the Roman modification. So that way they leave at the end of every season or so. And Parker immediately roamed to another team. I think, let's see. Does it say? Due to the movement of the Firewalker ability that Parker has, because that's what this is called, Firewalker. Parker McMillan during Season B elections, the Alaskan Immortals were unstable going into the first week of Season C. At the bottom of the 7th inning, on day 8, during a solar eclipse game against the Phoenix Trunks, which is another team, their icon was an elephant, The Immortals batter Blossom LaBelle stepped up to plate only for a rogue umpire to incinerate the unstable Immortals. The entire team was killed, relegating the team and the players to the Hall of Flame. Everybody died all at once. And this chained the instability to the Trunks, the entire team. The Immortals were replaced by a new team known as the Downward Dogs, who went on to lose a game against the Trunks 0-4. These events are chronicled by Luocrates in the library under Anaclips. So if you go to the library, if we go into the library, where the fuck? I'm in the library already. Go to Eclipse. Yeah. That's what we're seeing here. Dogs 0, Trunks 4. The instability chained to the Phoenix Trunks. Actually, I think if I remember correctly, the events in the book go backwards. Is this an acceptable situation to RIV? This predates RIV. RIV is named after a player named Landry Violence who died in like season 2. This is season B. This is before season 0. So Violence didn't. So we could arguably say rest in peace, but since it's Blaseball, I will say rest in violence anyway.
Fair.
So this is prehistory as we know it. This is before Blaseball, the game, existed as we knew it. So yeah, the events in the library go in backwards order. I completely forgot about that. So, Alaskan Immortals versus the Trunks, bottom of the 7, Blossom LaBelle's batting. Downward Dogs replace the incinerated Alaskan Immortals. The Alaskan Immortals die, and the Downward Dogs replace them. A whole new team. And then the Alaskan Immortals chain onto the team they were playing against, the Phoenix Trunks. So now the Trunks are unstable. I do want to show you this, though. I think this works. Maybe on a future season. You were allowed to click on the dog, on the Downwards dog, and a little peck button in the bottom would say like woof woof and bark, so you were petting the dog. They had a walk in the park ability. Here's something kind of fun though that I do want to talk about the Downwards dogs. Every player on this team is named after a pet owned by one of the developers or like people who work for the game band who did this. One of these players somewhere, Hobson. I want to see the info on your team. There was a player on this team named Coco Weeks. Where's Coco? Where's Coco? Maybe we don't see Coco until later. There was a player on the team named Coco Weeks. I have a friend named Thursday. That's Thursday's dog. So Coco is real and Coco exists in Blaseball somewhere. Later on in the game, I'll be able to click on this and pet the dog. I think. So yeah, so the Alaskan Immortals, the entire fucking team of the Alaskan Immortals, they all died all at once because Parker left the entire team unstable. I can pay tribute. Here you go. In honor. Yeah. In honor of the Alaskan Immortals forever. And then the Trunks got unstable instead. Going from season C to season D. In the seasons, let's see. Yeah, in season C election, Parker McMillan left the team he was on, the Canada Artists, which due to Firewalker caused the entire team to become unstable. On day 3, the Canada Artists were replaced by the Maryland Squirrels under a solar eclipse. Let's see. Shortly after, Artists batter Slosh Eckhart stepped up to plate, and a rogue umpire incinerated the Artists. So the Canada Artists all died, but thanks to Egan Espinoza's fire protector modification, Espinoza saved the lives of his teammates from the incineration. As a result, Espinoza was the only player to be incinerated with the team. The other artists instead were transferred onto the artist replacement team, the Topeka Moist Talkers.
Holy shit! That's mine!
Yeah, except it's not Canada Moist Talkers, it's Topeka.
It's
the
Topeka,
Moist Talkers then went on to lose a game against the
Talkers.
Squirrels. Yeah. So when the Canada Artists died, they got replaced by a new team called the Topeka Moist Talkers. Ain't that interesting?
Interesting. And their name is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't know if it's anywhere mentioned in here. One thing I want to mention is it was kind of nice seeing these new old teams that are, I guess, like the ancestors of our current teams.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, the team that gave Parker the Firewalker ability was known as the Antarctic Fireballs, I think was the team name. So they played for Antarctica, and when they were incinerated, they were replaced by the Chicago Firefighters.
Holy shit.
So the team that gave Parker the Firewalker modification and burnt down most of the league is the team that went on to become the Chicago Firefighters.
Wow.
And then your team had a guy who saved the entire team, and they all basically graduated from playing from the Canada Artists and moved on to a new team called the Topeka Moist Talkers, who later on in life would become the Canada Moist Talkers.
God damn.
Yeah, I kind of love that. I fucking love this. This event is in the library under a book called The Save, which is right here. If you go all the way to the bottom, Canada Artist, Slosh's batting, Egan Espinosa's Fire Protector, protected the teammates, and then from that point on, there was just like the Topeka Moist Talkers instead, and Egan died. Okay, Season E. On day 13, the Minneapolis Truckers, who were unstable at the time for unknown reasons, I wonder why. We never figure out exactly why, but I think it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
They were facing up against the New York Millennials, a team that actually exists in Blaseball as of right now. So the New York Millennials either stayed around forever or just like another team is named after these guys. We're facing off against the New York Millennials in a solar eclipse. During a game, the Rogue Umpires incinerated the Truckers, sending the entire team of Truckers to the Hall of Flame, and replaced them with the Boulder Bay Birds. There was a player on the team known as Megan Ito. Let me see if I can pull up Megan Ito. I'm gonna jump ahead to like season 23, so if things get like really fucking fucked up and weird looking, that's why. But I want to make sure I have all this information.
Okay.
What the fuck is this?
I
don't know.
Okay.
Megan Ito. This is actually too far to the game. Hold on.
I do not see anything.
Yeah, hang
I'm not
on.
perceiving.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Items. Okay, we're fine. It's fine.
Okay, cool.
It is fine. Okay.
Cool.
So Megan Ito was in possession of an item known as the Force Field, which I didn't have a chance to show it to you, but I should have. Parker is currently holding an item called the Force Field. Parker is the one who has it right now. Parker McMillan. He's holding an item called the Force Field. Legendary items cannot break or be dropped. Okay?
Holy shit. Okay.
The Force Field. This player is forced into position and they cannot leave their current location. This is basically a cancellation of their Roman ability. Parker is no longer allowed to move anymore because of this. And I do want to show one more thing that we found out, which is kind of scary.
Okay.
Where is... We're able to look at the vault, if I remember correctly. Or was that much later? Maybe it was later. But Parker, at least in the game stats... Parker McMillan. He's holding this legendary item. That's the wrong Parker. That's Parker Para. Parker McMillan. Here we go. He's holding his force field. He's not allowed to move. Also, he has containment. This player can no longer spread instability. And careful, this player's items will not be damaged when by standard game actions. So if Parker were to somehow be attacked by a consumer right now, the force field will not be damaged. This force field is keeping him in place. He's not allowed to move. He can't spread instability. He's legendary, which means he's in the vault.
Okay.
He's currently Parker McMillan is still alive. He is just trapped in the vault with everybody else, and he's not allowed to leave.
What the fuck?
All of these players that have been put into the vault up to this point for being legendary, the Pitching Machine, York Silk, Nagomi McDaniel, all these like super good players that like were like selling fucking Funko Pops of all of them. Torby Soul, all these players are in the vault, and so is Parker McMillan, the original Parker McMillan, with all of these abilities on him. He's still alive, and he's in the vault right now, held in place with a force field.
Forced into fucking containment like an SCP. Goddamn.
This is literally like an SCP containment breach kind of situation. They have him like locked in there, ball and chain. He's not allowed to move. He's stuck in there. And here's something scary. Every single season that goes on, Rome failed. Parker McMillan was gripped by force. Rome failed. Parker McMillan was gripped by force. Rome failed. Parker McMillan was gripped by force. He still has the Super Roman ability. He's still trying to leave every 9 seasons. We had a player with Super Roman just walk out of hell. There was a player who died with Super Roman who just stopped being dead because he left. And now we have a dude who's trapped in the vault, who's only being held in place by a force field, and if he gets out, he's getting back in the game again. And he's gonna keep going. The pitching machine, wow. So that's kind of scary. This is the only thing protecting our entire league from dying all over again.
What the fuck?
Ain't that scary?
That's scary. Holy shit.
He's in there, and he's alive. Hey, Drago. Okay, so let's pull up Megan Ito. Because this is the person who's important. Megan Ito. At least that works. Jeremy's a little broken today. He's a little sick. He's not using the text-to-speech, so pardon him for not talking today. Megan isn't holding anything, but Megan has 2 abilities on her right now. Let's see. Traitor. This player has a chance of swapping items with an opponent during a game. And Traitor. This player has a chance of swapping items with a teammate during a game.
What the fuck?
So, Megan's a bit of a kleptomaniac. She likes stealing things.
Okay.
Also, she is static now. She burst into static like all the Wyatt Masons and stuff. Weird. Echoes and static, and she's also ego +4. If she got 1 more ego, she would have been put in the vault too. So she's not in the vault, but she exploded into static basically.
Okay.
So the truckers were up against the New York Millennials under a solar eclipse. In which case the rogue umpire incinerated the truckers and replaced them with the Boulder Bay Birds.
Okay.
Megan Ito at the time was in possession of the force field.
Okay.
An item that prevented her from moving. Preventing them from leaving any location. As a result of this, when the incineration of their team occurred, their item attempted to force them to stay on their team and in the league. Impossible due to the fact that the team no longer existed in the ILB. Catching them in a state of literal superposition. Megan Ito then echoed themselves 99 times before echoing into static, dropping the force field. Then they were replaced by the newly created a newly created alternate known as New Megan Ito, who joined the Birds.
Okay.
So because Megan was holding onto this force field, and their entire team died, Megan Ito didn't want to be pulled into the Hall of Flame because she wasn't allowed to move, but she no longer had a team to exist on. So her ability just kept on activating on her team over and over again, but her team was gone, so she was activating it on herself, constantly echoing her own abilities upon herself until the point she exploded.
Okay.
After the incineration of the truckers, the instability changed to the New York Millennials, and the Birds went on to lose. This is an event known as an alternate, which if I go to just season 23, day 10, I'm just going to jump to season 10, just so I could show you. Rapidly exit trader walk. Where is it? An alternate. Here we go. We can see the events happen in order. Millennial Truckers versus New York Millennials. Minneapolis Truckers. Rogue Umpire incinerates the Truckers. They're replaced by the Boulder Bay Birds. Megan Ito entered the Hall of Flame. Megan Ito was gripped by force. Megan Ito was gripped by a force. Megan Ito entered the Hall of Flame. Megan Ito was caught in a state of superposition. They were gripped by force. They entered the Hall of Flame. Echo. What the
fuck?
Megan Ito dropped the force field.
Okay.
And then a replacement was called for Megan, known as New Megan Ito. And Megan Ito then joined the Birds, and everything continued as normal.
Oh, that's...
Megan Ito fucking exploded!
Yep. They couldn't... Oh.
So, after they exploded, they dropped the force field. Somewhere around this point, Blaseball started over. We go to season AA. This was basically attempt number 2 of Blaseball. Pretty much nothing happened. Let's see. God's Day, first day, sometime in the late 1980s. The Sun one was refilled. So the sun, I guess the sun ran out or was empty or blew up. I don't know. Baseball season's as normal. The 30 teams remaining at the ending of Season E joined the second iteration of Blaseball. Following this, the umpire appeared, they awoke, and on January 2nd, 2000, day one of preseason 2 began. And that's kind of all we know as of right now. Let's see, I can look... Now that I've skipped ahead to Season 22, I can look in the vaults. So I'll keep that in mind. Because that's going to be important. Being able to look in the vault will be useful, of course. Let's go to Season 21. I'll read over this now because I've kind of just explained everything in my own ways. Here's what the wiki says about the whole situation.
Okay.
As soon as Parker McMillan was unredacted in the library, fans were able to view his page, revealing additional information from the players that players were already very familiar. Oh, wait, no. Revealing additional information about the player with a very familiar name, because obviously the current commissioner of Blaseball is named Parker McMillan. Yep. Notably, he had two modifiers that filled in the blanks regarding the incineration teams that began populating the hall. Super Roman modification combined with Firewalker. Hi, Grayson. Thanks for hitting me. Additionally, McMillan was now holding onto an item called the Force Field, preventing him from moving. Preventing him from leaving the vault he was currently trapped in and spreading instability across the league once more. The implications of the discovery, specifically the legendary status of Parker McMillan, and the naming convention of replicas, quickly led to fans theorizing that the current commissioner, Parker McMillan V, alongside his two predecessors, could have just been replicas of the original Parker McMillan, in the same way that we're buying Funko Pops from the gift shop. Parker McMillan V is like a Funko Pop of one of these legendary players in the vault.
Holy shit.
That's why when one died, they just got a new one.
Oh my god.
However, this is not, let's see, along with two predecessors. However, this is not necessarily the case, as replicas have serial numbers instead of soul screams, and Parker McMillan IV's player page displayed an actual soul scream. So back during the coffee cup, Parker McMillan IV actually had a soul scream. I guess I could show you the some of the, let's see, replicas. I'm sure there's probably someone around.
Yeah.
Give me a replica. Who's got a replica here? Somebody show me a replica. Who got replicas? Nobody? Who the fuck got replicas?
Who has a replica?
Did I go too far into the game? Does nobody have a replica? Where are the replicas? Let's go to Season 21. Day 50. Why not? I know the Worms had one. 2, 3? The fuck are where are your replicas? Oh, actually, you don't get the replicas until the end of, like, Season 21. So let's go 21, day 75. You should have it there. I was a little too far back. Here we go, Chorby Soul. Here we go. So you can see Chorby Soul the fourth has a serial number instead of a soul scream. Also, coffee type, blood type, blood. You don't have them. You're a replica. You don't, whatever. You don't need them. You're not real, Chorby Soul the IV. So yeah, they got serial numbers. So when Parker McMillan IV played the game, he had an actual soul scream. I could probably search him. McMillan IV, because he played the game. He existed. See, he has one. So something kind of fucking weird is happening with the Parkers. We don't know exactly what. Additionally, Parker 4 and 5 do not use the same naming conventions replicas do, as the 4th and 5th replicas of a player instead use Roman numerals in their name. That's true as well. Something kind of goofy with the Parkers is, if I go back to the Worms, I was just looking at Chorby Soul IV. They have the Roman numeral for 4 being 1V. That's the standard Roman numeral.
Yeah.
Parker, they didn't have that for some reason. If I could pull up Parker IV here, Parker McMillan IV just has 4 eyes, which is not the proper way of using Roman numerals. And on Twitter, Parker McMillan V just has 5 eyes. Like, it's just... They're not using the Roman numerals correctly. So they're not exactly replicas, but they're definitely copies somehow. They don't have the same naming convention. The 4th and 5th replicas don't use Roman numerals. Parker McMillan V quickly expressed his distress on the Blaseball Twitter account with a series of tweets declaring that Parker McMillan is an imposter, even going so far as to lock his account temporarily. On his return, yeah, the Blaseball Twitter account got locked because Parker freaked out. He saw this old Parker and he was like, he panicked. If I remember correctly, he even did that whole thing where you turn your profile picture black.
Oh my god.
He panicked.
Huh.
On his return, he did not seem to be using his usual upbeat self, replacing the party time messages that he would normally tweet about when the season with half-hearted attempts of before being chided for his unprofessionalism and returning to the previous standard format. Yeah, the game devs were basically adding Parker. They're like, "Hey, could you like keep up the professionalism here?" Like, yeah, because Parker was like all like very clearly down in the dumps because of this. Something fucking bad's happening. Notable election results during the election: Sun 0.1 degree passed, introduced a new weather effect, increasing the sun's pressure to 44.06%. It's almost halfway full. After the elections, the sun was recharged, reducing the pressure to 17.82. So when the election, even though the sun pressure was rising and it went up to 44, there was like some kind of recharge, and it dropped it down to 17.8. Season 22, the semi-centennial announcement. At the start of the season, the boss showed up and announced that the league was going to be hosting a 50-inning semi-centennial game to celebrate 50 years of Blaseball.
50?
Because
oh yeah, huh?
The game started in the 80s. So 50 years of Blaseball. The game would take place between the final season of 23, between the finals of season 23. So sometime between the season finals of season 23, and then the election the next day. So after the finals of season 23, there would be this great semi-centennial game that would go on for 50 innings straight. Games are normally 9 at most, unless they need to go into tiebreaker rounds. So this is a really long game. And the election the next day. And it would be played by a pair of all-star teams. The Vault Legends, who consisted of all of the legendary players in the Vault, and the Rising Stars, who consisted of many players who currently had the ego modification, who weren't egoed enough to be put in the Vault. So the most famous players of all time who got put in the Vault, and some of the most famous players in the current day who weren't good enough to be put into the Vault yet. Big, massive game, 2 brand new teams playing against each other, including everybody in the Vault. With recent revelations about certain prehistory players, there seemed to be danger inherent to Parker McMillan participating in a 50-inning game alongside new Megan Ito. Because new Megan Ito, if I could search her up. I guess I'm still in season 21. Hold on. Let's go to season 23, day 50. Just a random day in season 23. If I look for new Magneto. Here we go. New Magneto has the same abilities about stealing items, and she's in the Vault. So, during this game, Megan Ito and Parker McMillan will be playing on the exact same team. Parker McMillan has the item that prevents him from moving, and Megan Ito likes to steal things. You can even see right here, pregame ritual theft.
Oh yeah,
He likes stealing.
She likes to steal.
Megan. With recent revelations, fans were worried about Parker McMillan playing 50 innings alongside Megan Ito. Who, with their traitor and traitor modifications, would, in all likelihood, attempt to steal McMillan's force field. With the force field gone, McMillan would then be free to roam across the league once more, spreading instability as he went. Yet more fans pointed out that McMillan would probably not be an issue, as several intrepid data witches, which I believe data witches are just like, let's see, had projections that showed that additional data witches is like Cyber, the game, the Society of Internet Blaseball Research, the nerds, the statisticians that we were talking to. The entire website we were looking at earlier, data witches, they projected that showed that the addition of all of the new suns this season, and the season's election ballot, and the sun would probably reach 100% pressure before then, triggering whatever would happen when the sun died. So on one hand, Parker might be set free. On the other hand, the sun might explode.
Oh, crap!
Corporation
Hello, everyone.
lobotomized.
Tom Scott here, and today I am trapped at the south side.
Hi, Coat.
Hello.
We are talking about Blaseball and some funny things that are going to happen
Cosmic horrors.
I'm getting to the point where things are getting fucking scary.
Yeah, we.
In summary, there is a player with an ability that makes it so he can jump from team to team to team. Oh, hello. Misha the Watcher. Welcome. There's a player named Parker McMillan, which is the same name as the current commissioner. Sorry the text-to-speech is broken today. The Watcher hereby says fuck. I'm sorry he's broken. They killed my wife and pulled me in for overtime. Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. That's just what it's like in the lobotomy corp. Yeah, something about Jeremy. He's broken today. I'm sorry. I didn't do anything different than I normally do. He just doesn't want to talk. So there's a player named Parker McMillan. I'm talking about the history of Blaseball and what happened here. He had two abilities. One ability made it so he left his team every 9 days, and he would just go to another team at random. Another ability he had made it so every time he left a team, he basically marked that team for death, and they were very likely to die. The entire team, all at once. They'd all basically just burn to death and die. Luckily, he has been contained. They locked him up SCP containment breach style, put him in a vault with a bunch of, like, greatest players of all time. Put him down, ball and chain. You're not allowed to move. We're giving you an item called the force field that keeps you in place. Coat Jr. was born and immediately thrown into a wood chipper. Broke Boy only made 50 energy. Chat then voted to save Coat Jr. the second. Jeremy in his vow of silence to halt Corvota's antifreeze addiction. Yeah, sure. So, Parker's fine. He's no longer allowed to move. He's got a force field holding him in place. Every 9 days he tries to leave, but he keeps being knocked back down. He's not allowed to leave. There's also another player in the vault who really likes stealing things. And we've just been told that there is going to be a major game called the Semi-Centennial. It's going to go on for 50 innings, consisting of 2 teams, one of which being every single player in the vault. So, while these two are playing on the same team, there is very high likelihood that Megiddo, the thief, is going to steal the force field and allow Parker to just leave. Just wander free wherever he wants to go again, and everybody's going to burn to death and die. And other people have pointed out, hey, every single time something happens in Blaseball, the sun has, like, a pressure gauge, and that pressure gauge goes up. The best player in the game also got vaulted. Yeah. I can actually show you at this point. I've gotten far enough into the story where I can show you the vault. Here's the vault. Here's every player in the vault and all of their abilities. What? Yeah. So here's everybody in the vault and all their abilities, and their items. Here's Parker McMillan. Parker is being held in place by a force field. He's not allowed to leave the vault. But due to this ability, Super Roman, at the end of every week, he tries to leave. But he's not allowed to because he's got the force field. If he does leave, he will leave instability behind, which is a status effect that basically marks your team for death. So this game has 9-day weeks. Don't worry about it. It's just for, like, making math a little bit easier. Here, Coat. Here's the reason I thought you were a Blaseball fan. Here's a player named Coat. Back when I first met you, I thought you were a Blaseball fan because you followed me during, like, a Blaseball stream or, like, some kind of event. And I thought you were named after this player. That's just completely coincidence. So yeah, Parker, every 9 days, wants to leave the vault. And if he leaves the vault, he will go on to another team. And then 9 days later, he'll leave that team. And every single time he leaves teams, he basically sets them on fire, and they die. He followed during a description. I think it was, like, around the point I was doing Blaseball stuff. There were a lot of people who did, like, roleplay and stuff for Blaseball, and I even remember talking to a few Twitch accounts named after Blaseball players. So I had assumed that you were just another one of those, like, roleplay Twitch accounts or something, and I thought you came from here. Is there a Blazeballer named Falcon or Jack? Let me check. There's Falconer. And here's Jackson Rodriguez. They're dead. Jack Serapinski. They played for the Alaskan Immortals. They're dead. Amaya Jackson is alive. And lastly, Falcon. Mateus Falconer Played for the Mallorca Whales. They're dead. Yay! Yeah, so you got one surviving error. Cool. So hang on. So there was a player named Coat Lovelace. There was a player named Coat Rogers. And then there was also, if I remember correctly, Pathos? I swear there was a player named Pathos, but apparently not. Okay, so I thought there was also players named Pathos. So your name just sounded like a Blaseball player name. Anyway, so yeah, Parker is trying to leave. He's trying to set everybody on fire. Or at least he is being forced to. Jackson was on the Lovers team as well. It fits. The Lovers survive. They are currently alive and they are actively playing. If I go to watch live, I could watch the Lovers play right now. Here they are. Here's the entire Lovers team. Since I can't see his name, he's probably sitting on the bench. So he's alive. He's just benched. So there's going to be a massive game. Parker McMillan is going to play. And then there's another player here named Megan Ito who has an ability where she has a chance of swapping items with other teammates. Can we see a mini corner game of the Lovers? Good question. I don't know if I can really easily. Oh, jeez. Hee-ho! Hey, speed. Not in the same way I used to do it. I could try and, like, force it. Let me see. Death Ray PV. Do I have it on? No. Ah! I unfortunately have that thing disabled right now. Can I enable it in midstream?
Maybe.
Let me see. Hang on. Twitch connections, rewards, baseball betting. Turn that on. There we go. I'll force it.
Let's go. Yay!
Oh wait, no. It's either way. It's not going to show up because of the layout of everything on. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
I'm canceling it. Don't worry about the noises.
Mm.
It's because of the way I have this UI laid out, the scene on OBS. I can't, sadly.
Damn.
I could at least... The point I'm trying to make here is there's going to be a game. Parker McMillan and Megan Ito are going to play on the same game. And Megan Ito has an item here, well, an ability that makes it so she likes stealing things. And she's going to be playing on the same team as Parker for 50 innings. So it's very, very likely that she's going to steal the force field. And on top of this, if I go to league standings, we have this, the sun, with a pressure gauge that is slowly filling. The statistics of this game, the game's fan statisticians have pointed out two things. Either one, Megan Ito is going to steal the force field and Parker's going to roam free. Or B, it could be either one or both, the sun is going to explode mid-game. And we're gonna see what happens when the sun fucking explodes. Okay. It's gonna trigger whatever happens when the sun die. Pitching Machine 2. This is not really important, just kind of something funny. At one point during season 22, the entirety of the New York Millennials had their pitchers go missing due to them being washed elsewhere, and because they ran out of pitchers, they got a new pitching machine. So there was a new pitching machine. He was just a little baby.
Pitching machine?
Hi, Astro!
Who?
It was literally just named Pitching Machine. He is just a little baby.
We love pitching machine.
Not to be confused with the other pitching machine currently preserved in the vault.
My bad.
It's a different pitching machine. A little bit.
Different pitching machine.
Fans like to refer to him as Little Pitchy because he's a little guy.
Well, Pitchy, that's a great name.
His stats were terrible because he joined the game after all the power creep. So he joined in as a new player, like amongst a game in which everything is power creep to hell. Imagine joining a Pokemon team right as a Caterpie right before your trainer goes to fight the Elite Four. That's what happened.
Oh God!
Poor little Pitchy. This happened to any player who died and like was replaced at this late into the game. The new player was always bad. Pitching Machine basically did so fucking bad on his first day that he got immediately benched by the next day.
Oh.
Let's see. Fifth base continued. More weird bullshit happening with the fifth base. People are picking up the base, putting it down. Players are being traded from team to team. Nothing really important happens.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this was kind of interesting though. Since it's the introduction of the fifth base, I guess this one's kind of interesting just because it changed the rules of how it all worked. Since the introduction of the fifth base, it had been picked up and placed as by lineup players who moved around the league. So if you were a batter and you went and stood on the fifth base, you'd be allowed to pick it up and then like wander away, I guess, and leave the game. Seeing 9 different owners over this period of 2 seasons. However, with the introduction of tunnels, which was a thing you were allowed to install in your ballpark, ballpark modification and its ratification into the league, every single ballpark had it. It became possible for pitchers to steal items from other players. This is notable because while the Super Roman fifth base was routinely being picked up and put down by players that stole bases, pitchers were unable to do so because they're basically forced to stand on the pitcher's mound. Sure enough, on day 84 of season 23, during a regular season, Baldwin Breadwinner stole the fifth base from Jackson Buckley. A pitcher stole it from a batter. Roaming 4 times before ending up on the Boston Flowers, who managed to win the Trader Item Crate, giving each of their players with an empty or broken item slot the Trader Item. So they were given an item that allows them to trade items. Goofy, I know. The appeal of the legendary item caused the fifth base to change hands 13 times within the first week of season 23, before ending up in the hands of Flowers pitcher Chorby Short, the little froggy, with the item remaining with rotation players until the end of the expansion era. So little pitcher Chorby stole the fifth base, and because she's not running bases, she's pitching at this point. She just held on to it forever and continued to only have it taken from her by other pitchers. So it became a batting thing. It was a batting thing, and then it became a pitching thing. Originally, you were stealing bases from doing standard baseball, stealing bases, and then they started stealing bases by literally sneaking around in tunnels under the ballpark and fucking pickpocketing each other. Let's see. During the election, multiple sons equal sun. Some sun, more sons, more sons, more sons, so many sons.
Too much sun.
3 sons basically got put into effect in the same season during the election, all of which changed the game's scoring systems every single time. Pressure increased to 57.34, to 67.34, to 77.34. So now it's already at like 77%. The vault was revealed by the vault tiding, and we basically learned and gained access to being able to look at the vault. Many of the blessings on the ballot affected the E-density of players by flipping the E-densities. Oh yeah. The election options this season focused a lot on... We'll go to season 22 elections. A lot of the election options this season had to do with E-density.
Cool.
So either making you lighter or making you heavier again. Let's see. So here's like, here's a sun that got put into play. Here's another sun that got put into play. Here's another sun that got put into play. You can see the pressure is just going up and up and up.
Jesus
and the sun's
Christ.
pressure's building. Moving a player, swapping a player. This team re-rolled a whole bunch of their player stats and also made a bunch of them negative. So this is like stat re-rolls on a lot of players, but also making it so their density was negative, so they started weighing less. Players swapping. When this player bats in a run or an unrun, the polarity of the run or unrun would be flipped. So this is saying, like, if you score a run, it's actually going to be -1. Or if you score a negative run, it's actually +1. This person basically scored negative. This one particular player, Kaz Fiasco. Here's a bunch of replicas fading into dust. Thank you for playing. Blaseball will be back. There was basically a little bit of a hiatus before the games returned because this was going to be big, understandably.
Oh boy.
Oh, this was favorite team results only. I can turn that off. Okay. I knew there was a bunch of stuff we were missing. It was limited to only seeing my own things. Okay. Trading players, McDonald Mesa, Wanda. I remember this happening. That was fucking weird. I don't know why we got him. It made for some really good stories that the fans wrote, so that was cool. But
that's cool.
When stuff happens and it's weird, you get to talk with the other teams, like, hey, why did we get this player in a trade? I don't know. Oh, God, hang on, I'm gonna pull up Gabriel really quick. Gabriel Griffith is my second favorite player in the game, and we did something very funny to Gabriel. Where are you? So we gave Gabriel an item, or he won an election that basically gave him a massive soul scream. Not as big as not as big as Chorby's,
okay.
but still
Ooh,
pretty
she
fucking
got-
big.
Holy.
So it made him pretty heavy. Hi, Coat.
Hello.
What's up?
Nothing much.
You here to chill out while I explain things?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing that anyway on the stream and all that. I
That's
did
fair.
have one question though.
Go for it.
I missed the start of the stream, obviously, and I remember the previous one ending with sorry, brain fart. The ending with like ending almost on a cliffhanger where you said there's a big reveal. So what was the reveal?
The library. If I can go to the library here. So as I click through, library. As I click through the pages here, the library basically explains the prehistory of Blaseball as we know it. We had access to a whole bunch of books, but if we looked in the books, a lot of them were just like redacted information. Like, okay,
so
we
a
know
bunch of them got unredacted then.
Yeah, we knew about like season B, for example. And like we had some vague information. The Hawaii Fridays finished in 2nd place. The Immortals were in 5th place. But there was all this text that was just redacted and we didn't know anything about it. It's like, oh cool, thanks for these library books we're not allowed to read. We also had access to this depth chart here, which I will once again pull it up on screen because this
Shark jump scare.
the shark, because you can't see it on the capture on OBS for some reason. This depth chart basically...
I saw the depth chart, and that's where the previous one left off, and it was like,
Yup.
Oh, so, and then like you showed this, and they were like, okay, and next season, this is where like shit gets crazy.
So, in summary, when I look at a team here, let's say the Baltimore Crabs, they have a level high A, and then they also have this thing called E density.
Yep.
Pretty much everything in Blaseball, from your stats to your winning record to how many runs you score to how good your team is placed on the bracket to the items your players are holding to how much soul your players have, has a weight value to it. And if your scores basically went from 3D to 2D to 1D to C to low A to high A, and then it was just A. You just started adding up A's. Your team basically started screaming. If your team passed below sea level, it would start causing your team to be attacked by consumers, these sharks. Funny pun, but it was kind of seemingly implemented as like a power balance kind of deal. If your team was too good, your team would start being attacked by these consumers that reduced your team's stats. That's kind of how it was seen originally.
Replacing the balance thing that was in the previous seasons during the discipline era, because there was something, and I forget what it was, but yeah.
It was kind of the opposite. And the thing is, it didn't replace it. That thing is still around. In the discipline era, it was introduced in discipline era, but it still exists now. There's a thing called party time where if your team is mathematically eliminated, if your team was mathematically eliminated from the postseason, meaning even if you got a perfect score from this point forward and you got like 100% of your victories from this point forward, you still weren't playing good enough to make it into the postseason. You would continue to play the game, but your team had a random chance of throwing a party in the middle of a game, which improved team stats. So the worse your team was, the sooner you'd enter party time, and then you'd get more stat buffs.
Okay, now I remember what the other balancing thing was. The whole shelling anyone above a certain line. And,
yeah.
So, like, the best players in the league kept getting shelled, and that,
That was... Is that even here? The idle board? Where's the idle board?
No, it's fine. I get it. I just... You also have no idea how this game works. It's fascinating. It's... Honestly, how Corvote is describing it is how it works.
Yeah.
There were the virtual games that were going on that you would come in and check in on. And then
you'd place bets.
And it was a lot of community stuff from what I understand.
It was a lot of like major events in this game would not have happened without some kind of community interaction of like fans putting together plans and trying to figure out exactly what they want to do. Some fans were doing things just for the sake of the game and trying to make their team better. Some fans would do things for the sake of like story reasons, where like it makes sense for us to do this because this is the story we wrote about our team, and they would do that. 2 cents. Wow. Also, let me see what you were writing. Sun supernova went into effect. Nuclear fusion. Stats randomize every inning, and at the end, stats are cemented. Summer heat winning streak increases stats by 1. Oh, so you're like introducing like new weather effects or like new rules. I do like this. This is basically what we were doing.
It's not the exact things, but that definitely sounds like Blaseball.
Yeah. Like, we weren't the ones making the rules. The game devs were the ones making the rules. We were just the ones voting on them. How? I go, yeah, I've learned that I accidentally have a command to throw an item at me, and I didn't realize that existed. So, free baseball throws if you want them.
All right, now that
so yeah, this is the other board, yeah. Just so you know, those players still exist in a way. The ones that were shelled. If a player was shelled, they still existed and they still played the game. It's just they got skipped, and the Crow Weather would occasionally set them free. As the game went on, oh, go ahead.
What was the big reveal with the when like after the depth chart was shown and all that, and then like the next season after like the depth chart with Blaseball 2 at the bottom and Blaseball 0 at the top. You said that like a bunch of stuff got revealed in the library.
Yes. So we knew that Blaseball had existed. That's fine. That's no problem. We knew that prehistory existed. There was seasons A, season B. These all happened before season 1 of Blaseball as we knew it. What ended up happening with the depth chart, which was kind of funny, is there's a team called the Worms. And they, being Worms fans, really, really like things about dirt and digging down and going down. And one of the things they were allowed to do during, I think, season 21, is in the gift shop, which is a place you're allowed to buy items and give them to other players. There was a copy of Torby Soul, the player who was constantly being attacked by sharks. The reason Torby Soul is constantly attacked by sharks is because they had a soul that was so fucking massive that it weighed the teams down all the way into the shark zone. And fans had quickly learned that the game runs off an actual liquid physics simulation. So if you got something heavy, you would sink down, but then you kind of bob your way back up until you found your balancing points, basically. And the Worms had a bunch of things that made their team a little bit more heavy than usual, and they wanted to hit the bottom. They wanted to go all the way down and crash into the gate at the bottom of the map. Because, if I could pull up the page really quick, Blaseball 2, hang on. There was a website...
Awesome.
Yeah, there was a website called Blaseball2.com, which I'll pull up in just a second.
Blaseball 2, yay.
Blaseball 2 is a website that existed for a while.
There on screen if you're...
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. I'm not pulling it up yet. So Blaseball 2 was a website that existed, and back in season 1, the crabs ascended, and they went to Blaseball 2, wherever the fuck that is. But it's a little weird that the map is, the gate where they ascended to is at the bottom of the map. But fans kind of saw it as, like, maybe it's a gateway to heaven. It's got clouds. It's a gate. When the team ascended, they went there. So it sounds like heaven, but it's far below the shark-infested area. And the Worms were more than willing to be the team that dug down there to go and get it. So they ended up getting a copy of... They got, like, a replica of Torby Soul with the soul attached. So it's just as heavy as usual. And they basically... Imagine, like, floating in the water, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, a fucking concrete block, like, generates on your fucking ankle, and yanks you down, all the way down to the fucking ocean floor. And they basically battering rammed into the gate. And then they broke the gate open, which you were always allowed to see the gate on Blaseball2.com. But upon hitting the gate, Blaseball2.com updated, and it showed a new image. Which the website takes a little while to load because nobody fucking uses this website anymore. But it exists. It's loading. Last time I tried pulling this website up, the OBS crashed on me.
While
also,
it's
I'm
loading,
here now.
Everything everything I hear about the Worms reminds me of Book of Hours and Lobotomy Corporation, because like a team of worms coming out from a crack in the sky and then proceeding to dig deep down through the most dangerous things to infest heaven is extremely worms are reality eaters in that.
Yeah,
they are like an extra dimensional parasite that gets into a reality and will just eat and replace anything with more worms. Some
Awesome.
people are worm skinwalkers and don't even realize it. Anyway,
That's
go back to
terrifying. I love
Blaseball.
that. So yeah, the worms fucking battering rammed the gate, and upon doing so, a bunch of literal red herring came pouring out of it. Which, I mean, it is at the bottom of the fucking ocean, below the shark and everything, so I guess, like, there being fish down there is not too surprising. But, like, this ended up leading to a whole bunch of weird situations, but in summary, fans were allowed to start collecting red herrings into their inventory as an item. And then when they went into the library, they were allowed to start reacting to things on the side. Because this game has, like, a fucking Facebook likes system. You can give likes and stuff. If you have peanuts in your inventory, you can like a post, basically. Let me take the shark thing off screen. You can like an event and, like, give it a peanut, and it tells you how many people liked it. But when it came to the redacted things, instead of a peanut, it had a picture of one of the pickled herrings. And if a post hit 1,000 pickled herrings, it became unredacted, and fans were allowed to look at it.
Yup.
So from that point forward, fans started kind of looking through this list of, like, all this redacted information, and they were like, what information here is the most important? What is the things we need to know? Some things were kind of obvious, like this part here, it's like, this part here, it mentions a player on the Yellowstone Magic, and then this, we don't know what it says, but it's got basically the same spacing, so more than likely it's just another random player name. Dipping out from the call so I can continue to listen, but also listen to the music. No problem, that's fair. If you want to listen to the music, I can actually give you a link to the Spotify playlist. Let me grab that really quick. If you got Spotify, it's another way to do it. Share, copy link to playlist. Paste. Here you go, here's the Spotify link if you want that. Garage's music good. Garage's music is all Blaseball music. So if you want to stay in the call and you just want to listen to music, here you go. But you could probably guess, like, this chunk here and this chunk here is basically the same information. It's just naming another random player. So fans kind of understood, okay, we don't need to worry about this one. About like 185 people still wanted to know what it was, but you need 1,000 to open some information. And so fans started opening up information like crazy if they thought it was important. This chapter called an Eclipse, they opened everything. This chapter called a Save, they opened up a whole bunch of shit at the bottom here. Oh yeah, I remember that country guy you recommended last, 'twas good. Country? If I recommended a country singer, it was probably Orville Peck, I assume. So that was the plot. The major breakthrough was learning all this information, and the information we did learn, and that information had to do with learning about Parker McMillan and learning about Megan Ito and learning about what happened to a whole bunch of these teams.
Yep.
There was, oh god, now that I pull up the fucking Hall of Flame and I'm like further in the game, you can see how many teams died because of Parker.
That the ticker is just like saying, like, I didn't know about Parker though. Like,
give me a bat. Where is Chorby, by the way? The ticker is alive.
Yeah, we love the ticker.
There's a YouTube series that basically does what I'm doing in less detail, but in the same way, where they kind of cover everything that happened. He insulted the ticker. So the ticker's like, I don't care what he says. Who are they? I feel so alive. Oh no, I see it. Why is the sun square? Seems weird. I knew about the fish all along.
What the fuck?
Fuck you, yeah. I love the ticker. The Immortals died. Yeah, the Immortals were the first team we ever learned that died.
Yeah, sorry.
So we learned Parker McMillan played for this team called the Immortals.
Yep.
I'll go back over Parker again because his entire story is kind of interesting, and I don't mind talking about it.
I swear I didn't know.
Wrong character. I didn't know Parker. Where's Parker?
Have we got to him? Yes, we have. But we were
we've talked about Short.
Now. Yeah.
We've talked about Parker, but I can go over it again one last time.
Yep.
All of these abilities Parker has on him were placed on him in order. So first he had the ability to make 10 times as much money as any other player. So he was a money hog. If you wanted money, you bet on Parker. Somebody didn't like the fact that the Alaskan Immortals team that he played for was making so much money. So they made it so whatever team Parker was currently on, those fans were not allowed to make any money off Parker. They also made it so if Parker ever leaves the team he's currently on, that team would be marked for death. They'd become marked unstable. Oh, I forgot to turn that off. I'm sorry, Bagel. I gotta refund you that. I'll refund you that in a bit. It's currently broken. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Blaseball's not in the scene, so it's not technically working.
Yeah, I had to remove it for reasons, and then I forgot. I turned it back on and turned it back off again. It should be off, actually.
It's
hang on.
not.
Oh, hang on. I know what's wrong. You're gonna hear a noise.
Noise
Connection ended.
time.
Oh, no noise. Okay, never mind. We're good.
Oh.
So I canceled it. Don't worry. Wait. Baseball tech, bad
Yeah,
streamer.
We can't do Blaseball.
Nah, we can't. Not in this situation, sadly. But yeah, so in order of events, Parker made a bunch of money. Somebody made it so his team, the Immortals, were no longer allowed to make money as long as he played for the Immortals, and made it so if he ever left the Immortals, the entire Immortals team would be marked for death. So the Immortals were not allowed to make any money off of him, and they did not want him to leave. But somebody put in a whole bunch of votes to kick him off the team anyway. And because he was kicked off the team, he gains an ability that makes it so he always leaves whatever team he's on every 9 days.
Yep.
So now every single 9 days, Parker McMillan would leave whatever team he was on and then mark them for death, and then he would just continue walking around the ballpark and walking around the entire league until the entire league was incinerated. Eventually, they stuck him in the vault with all the legendary players, and he was given an item that forced him to stand in place. He was no longer allowed to leave the vault. He was trapped in there forever. He's not allowed to spread instability, and he cannot damage the item. Here's the force field in question. If I go into his feed, you can see every 9 days, here's day 99, here's day 108, here's day 90, here's day 81, 72. Every 9 days, he tries to roam and fails because he's held in place by the force field. And his line would eventually become the commissioner. Yeah, Parker McMillan V is currently the commissioner of Blaseball at this point. When we learned about Parker McMillan I, this Parker, the Parker who controlled the Twitter account, the commissioner, he had basically a panic attack. He started yelling about how this guy was an imposter, he's not real. He like turned the profile picture of the Twitter account to like just a black image. He locked the Twitter account.
Yep.
He eventually came back and he was very clearly upset. He wasn't as enthusiastic about like the finals and stuff like he normally was. Some of the game developers, like the developers of Blaseball, were literally messaging him on Twitter saying like, hey, we need you to act a bit more professionally, buddy. Like this guy, this poor fucking Parker McMillan V, he had no idea what was happening.
It's such a shame that it was not
scary.
like had a snapshot on the Internet Archive. There's one after it, not in the moment though. I'm so upset by it.
I know. You could probably go into Twitter and find some of the tweets and stuff you've tweeted around this time.
I just have to find the.
It's just.
Time.
It's very hard to find these things because Parker tweeted a lot all the time. So you'd have to go back to like 2021 and like find the exact day of this stuff happening.
Yep.
And there was a lot of official Twitter accounts for Blaseball, so it wasn't just Parker. There'd be like game devs messaging him. He would interact with other official Twitters and stuff like that. So it's kind of hard to keep track of everything that was going on Twitter sometimes. Occasionally the wiki will link back to things he said. Will it actually mention? Sadly, there's no link to him saying anything on Twitter here. I would assume like a wiki page they'd have like a source, but there's not. It just mentions he called him an imposter and then panicked and locked the Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So we've learned Parker is in the vault. There was a player named Megan Ito who exploded and died. I can talk about Megan really quick. This force field that Parker currently is holding that's keeping him trapped in the vault originally belonged to Megan Ito. Megan originally had the force field. Megan was holding onto this force field and she played for another team called the Truckers. And the Truckers had Parker for a minute. Catch! Oh no. You're gonna throw something at me. What are you gonna... I don't like that. Oh no! Oh no.
What?
It's been a while since that's happened.
What?
Thank you. Thank you. Smile. Let me turn the lights on in my bedroom really quick.
Okay.
Okay. So, Megan originally held on to the force field. And what the force field does is it basically prevents you from moving anywhere, ever. Parker joined her team for a moment and then left, like he always does. And that marked the entirety of the Truckers team for death. They all became unstable. Super Mage Attack, Baseball Death. When the Truckers eventually were incinerated, when a team gets incinerated, the entire team gets incinerated. Not the players in it, but the team itself is incinerated. Even, like, the existence of the team gets incinerated. So, when the Truckers were incinerated, but Megan was not. Megan no longer had a team that she belonged to, because she was not allowed to go into the Hall of Flame. She was not allowed to go into Blaseball Hell, because she was held in place by the force field. But a player can't exist outside of a team, so she kept kind of getting yanked back and forth between the Hall of Flame and being alive, but she couldn't be alive without being on a team, so it tried to pull her back into the Hall of Flame, but she couldn't move, so she'd stay alive. And she basically got stuck in a point of superposition where she was both dead and alive at the same time, being ripped between life and death, until eventually she exploded into static and was replaced by a new player named New Megan Ito. Megan quite literally exploded because she couldn't be alive and dead at the same time. Schrodinger's player. Her current vibes are honestly terrible.
Yeah.
Normal things. So she got replaced by New Megan Ito, and New Megan Ito eventually got put into the vault as well. So this player who likes stealing things is currently in the vault with Parker McMillan, a player who is holding an item that prevents him from moving, but if it were ever to be removed, he would start wandering across the entire league and setting everybody on fire, and they will all fucking die. We're 22 seasons into this game, and we've just learned that we are one bad interaction away from the entire game going up in flames and everybody we ever cared about dying.
Yep.
And we've just been told, hey, when season 23 is over, we're going to be holding this big event called the Semi-Centennial. Blaseball's existed for 50 years now. Every single player that is currently in the vault is going to be playing against all of the current MVPs for 50 innings. The game is just simply going to keep going until something happens.
Something happens.
One of two things can happen. Well, two of two things can happen. Honestly, both of them are probably going to happen. One, Megan Ito is going to steal her teammate's force field and allow Parker to roam free forever, and the events of what happened before that led to all of these teams dying. Not players, teams, entire teams. Here's the entirety of the Dallas Cows. Here's the Minneapolis Truckers. Here's the Antarctic Fireballs. This event is going to happen again that leads to all these teams dying. Except it's going to happen to the teams we care about. It's going to be our guys. And then also, the sun is constantly filling up with pressure. And with the way things are going, the sun is probably going to explode in the middle of that game as well. So, Parker's going to be set free, and the sun's going to fucking explode. Things could not be going worse. That was the sudden plot cliffhanger I left you guys on last time. That's what we're currently dealing with right now. The sun's going to explode and Parker's going to go free. Season 23, let's see. The sun is currently at 77%. Unexpected win. What happened here? Oh, this was just a weird game bug involving, I don't remember exactly what it's called, like, something point issues when it comes to, like, game code. The game tied with a score of 20.3, but the game still decided one of the teams won anyway, due to, like, floating point error. That's what it is. So, there was a game with a floating point error that resulted in a tie game actually having a winner. So, Parker, in narrative effect, is going to be set free by the exploding sun. Not by the exploding sun, it's just Parker's going to be set free at the same time as the sun exploding. Two absolutely horrific things are going to happen back to back. The sun is going to explode and Parker's going to be set free and he's going to kill everybody if the sun doesn't do it first. Narrative effect, yeah, sure. Then, yeah, Parker is going to be set free and the sun's going to explode and everybody's going to die. That's what it looks like is going to happen here. Premeditation of things to come. There's no salvation in Blaseball. Never ever, no. We were given a few things that could have helped us. We were given the ability to make our team roamless, so players could not roam to our team. There was another option to make it so your whole team was squiddish, so if your team did get incinerated, you'd be replaced with a team that already was incinerated, meaning one of the prehistory teams can come back if you wanted. There was a team called containment, so if your team died of incineration, you wouldn't spread the instability. A lot of things to like kind of protect your team, but not in ways that would make the game any better. Just things that could help but not save anything. I'm glad this shit ain't got pictures, because god, the amount of honestly horrific things that could have been done. Oh my god. Yeah, let me look up. I'm not gonna Google anything because I actually did that earlier and it pulled up my fucking address. Let me put this image on screen really quick, if I could do that. Can I pull this on Fuji's? Can I do this? Here we go. Check out this art. Check out this artwork that like a fan drew. I fucking love this.
Oh, that's on the laptop screen, your beginning screen. Huh?
Yeah. This is some fan art of like the events of Parker wandering and killing people.
Damn. That's so cool.
It is so good. I love Parker. Las Vegas Reaper of Souls. Setting fire to everything I see. Yeah. Shout out to the Seattle Garages band having a song called Firewalker with me about Parker. It is one of the best songs they ever wrote. It's amazing, and every single Friday I post it on Tumblr. I call it Firewalker Friday, or at least like I reblog it, Firewalker Friday. So where are we now? Weird floating point error game. Fans are trying to do things to try and prevent things from going bad, but there's nothing we could really do to stop it. The blessings section at this season was also different, with there being 24 blessings, each labeled with a selection of greatest hits of every previous season. Oh, so that's right. Season 24, season 23's election instead just had like the most popular election options from the past 23 seasons or something. So there was a lot of just very popular ones, like the blessing that allowed us to bring back Jalen Hot Dog Fingers and bring her back from the death was an option. The one that made Jessica Telephone one of the best batters in the game was an option. Just a bunch of things that were just like popular, and fans were like, oh, we can do this again. We can do this again. Like, that's exciting. Angst has mirrored and overtaken me. Must be the age. Oh god damn, must be the age. Rips through my Charleston, Atlantis, Tokyo garages and Wild Wing shirts to reveal the I Love Parker McMillan shirt. And then you rip that shirt and there's like Germa's Mexico t-shirt under there. All this while I thought that I would learn. Let's see. The reader showed up during the Earl siesta after a long absence, but did not do the seasonal readings. They didn't simply showed up and said, setup, trick play, hook and ladder, safety, game over, tear down. Whatever that means. The reader always talks in riddle. The monitor also showed up saying, celebration, huh? They're all playing? Rising stars, all of them. Sounds exhausting. Hope there's fireworks. Oh, buddy, there's gonna be a fucking fireworks, that's for sure. Yeah. I can tell you're like saying lyrics, but unfortunately I don't know the song. Finally, Lowakertes gave a cryptic statement before the MVP announcement. Stars rise, expanding constellations, setting course for waters above. An ending begins, events horizoned, and beyond an archipelago, nucleosynthesis. Which, pretty much no Blaseball fan knew what the fuck nucleosynthesis meant, and we had to Google it. If I remember correctly, it basically means, like, finding meaning in things in which there is no meaning. Firewalker by Valley of the Sun. I don't think I've ever heard it. I'll need to listen to it. At the end of the internet season, at the end of the internet series for the season, there was a short break, and then the semi-centennial began. The ILB semi-centennial had several unique game conditions due to the Vault players' modifications. The cycling ballpark modification made it so pitchers for each team would cycle out at the end of every inning. The cloud control and weather reports modifications meant that the weather would change every inning in the Vault, and that when changed, it would pick based on history, linking each inning to a specific season and related weather. At the start of each inning, a season and connected weather were being announced. Lowakertes appeared before the beginning of the game and stated, "From the Delta, we wade upstream, shifting sediment, recalling testimonies from recorded eras. Memories flood. From which how you describe Parker is a song that fits Parker incredibly well for something made in 2019. Cool. Triplets born, a throne awaits, a seer warns of a blazing fate. Make your bets, concentrate, burning time lies in wait. Oh, that's good, dude.
Sonic Underground. God damn it.
I hate the fact that that's, like, honestly fitting, too.
Yeah.
I'll drop in the Discord. Thank you. Shut up. Parker rise now. Parker rises now.
Meow.
I'm gonna actually skip ahead and, like, show you a bit of the,
Oh?
semi-centennial, just because, like, it might be interesting to have on screen if I can. Cause 9. Postseason night weather. Where is it? The semi-centennial. So, here he is coming in from the Delta, way upstream. He's telling us our shit. Let's skip ahead to the game. So, oh, and then, like I said, every inning would be based on something. So right now it's the bottom of the first inning. It's based on season 5's reverb events, cascading swells, repeating rhythms. He made his wear the crown. Shut up. So we got the Vault Legends. All the players in the Vault, all of them. This team is fucking huge. Look at their stats. They're all amazing. York Silk, Nagomi McDaniel, Liquid Friend, Valentine's Games, Parker Macmillan, Torby Soul. Torby, of course, is garbage. Here's Coat Loveless. New Magneto was Pitching Machine, Uncle Plasma. Everybody we've heard all these, like, names about. They're all in here.
Everyone is here.
Also, they also have the Heist Expert. This team is adept at using Ballpark's tunnels, which means this team in general is just good at stealing shit. Especially stealing things from other players. So Megan Ito, being a thief and loving to steal things, will likely continue to steal things from the opposing team, as well as maybe her own team. Post it in the music and videos. It's only a 1.5-minute long song. Okay, cool. I'll listen to it later. You just hate Parker's Glory. I love Parker's Glory, it's just I didn't want it happening to my team.
Mm.
When players join this team, they'll be artificially forged. So, also,
Oh?
anytime a player would join the Vaulted Legends during this game, they would be permanently vaulted. Like, they would... If during this game, the Rising Stars... If I remember correctly, during this game, occasionally players on the Vaulted Legends would just, like, instead of stealing items, just steal entire players from the Rising Legends team. And if a player was stolen onto the Vaulted Legends, they were just permanently set as legendary, and they were just trapped in the vault when everything was over. You firefighters, surely you put out some fires, yeah? I mean...
Yeah?
We didn't die.
Mm.
We were worried, though. We sure were. So yeah, first inning, it's the reverb weather. If I skip 5 minutes ahead, now we're looking at third inning, we're looking at it's live bait, consumers attack Torby Soul. This was like based on the coffee cup, so here's coffee weather, which I'm not going to explain what coffee weather is because I fucking hate it.
Okay.
The team from Hades wouldn't mind Parker paying them a visit. No, honestly, the Hades Tigers team would probably enjoy having Parker, just because if the entire Hades Tigers team was set to be unstable, and the umpire tried to kill the Tigers, they would just kill the umpire back, and that would be funny. So here's them talking about season 4. So, like, the seasons aren't in order, but it's season 4 feedback, so we got feedback weather. Unslam restrains infrastructure. Here's what I'm talking about, the grand unslam that broke Los Angeles and made White Mason all funky. So every single one of these innings was based on a historical event that happened up to this point. This really was like a celebration of the game itself, but also the most terrifying fucking thing ever. If I go to the Vaulted Legends... Megan Ito actually has the 5th base right now. What are you doing with that? Where did you get that, Megan?
Megan, drop it.
Megan. Anyway, we're on the 5th inning. Parker still has the force field. Everything is fine.
God.
Everything's okay. Parker still has it. Here we
Are
are,
you sure
season
everything's
7. In top of the 7th inning, season 10, Rest in Violence. We got Bird Weather. Tillman Henderson batting and hitting a single. Fuck that guy.
Okay.
Let's see. Megan Ito still has the 5th base. Memories do what? Thanks, Thanks.
What?
The ticker is very confused about what's going on.
Who owes you $50? Winter, I keep forgetting.
Tillman Henderson. Tillman Henderson.
That bitch! God damn!
Look at the ticker. I'm hyped for season 12. Yeah, you are, buddy.
Yeah, you are. We're getting close to season 12.
The team from Haiti. Let's see. He still owes me $50. Yeah, he owes everybody $50.
I'm still annoyed.
Season 16, mass production. This is when they started making replicas. This is a glitter effect, which is like a glitter weather was a weather effect that made it so you got random items sometimes.
Ooh.
This is the top of the 9th inning. I'm checking Megan. Megan still has the 5th base. Things are still fine. We're in the 9th inning. Too bad this goes on for 50. Keep going.
Okay.
Season 15, live bait. A weighty soul and insatiable appetite. The sharks, Torby. Beans began to fly. Oh shit, the season actually the weather just changed. It's coffee again. I am once again checking Megan. That's Picture Machine. That's the wrong guy. Megan. 5th base still. I don't know exactly when Megan gets it, but I'm skipping ahead over and over again just because I'm curious about when exactly. Tillman Henderson, noise canceling headphones render one immune to criticism. See, even the fucking loot crates is making fun of Tillman, saying he's not fucking listening to anything you say. He's a fuckhead.
Green coffee?
Oh, there it is. Megan Ito has the force field as of inning 12. At some point between innings 9 and inning 12, Megan traded. Here we go. Trader Megan Ito traded their 5th base for Parker McMillan's force field. Oh god, I forgot about that. Yeah. she gave the fucking 5th base to Parker, the thing that also forces you to keep moving. So Parker got his hands on the fucking Super Roman item again. She could have taken anyone's item. One thing we learned up to this point is players who steal items like stealing items with high amounts of durability. Weapon durability, items were used as weapons when defending yourself against consumers, and the durability would drain every single time the item was used until eventually the item broke. And if a player was stealing an item, they tended to prefer stealing items with very high durability. And the force field is literally unbreakable. So Megan saw that force field and her eyes were glued on it, and she took it. So you can see right here, infinite durability. Can't break and can't be dropped. So sometime at this point, Megan got her hands on it, which means Parker McMillan has 2 copies of Super Roman, which I don't know exactly what having 2 copies of this ability does, but every 9 days from now on, and at the end of every single season, Parker is going to leave. This player will roam at the end of each week and each season. When this player leaves a location, they will leave instability behind, marking the entire team for death. Parker has been set free.
Oh no.
Parker is officially set free. And if I go to... I actually can't right now. I guess the entire page got shut down, so I'm not allowed to look at anything. We can't see it right now. Maybe every once in a while, when something happens here, we'll see it. But as this game goes on, the sun keeps filling up with pressure. The sun is like basically being pumped up bigger and bigger. The sun is going to explode very soon. The sun is going to explode, and we're only on the 13th inning out of 50. I'm curious if I can catch it happening, or Vault Legends are currently at 10, Rising Stars are at 2. The Vault Legends are very clearly winning. Peanut Bong, let's go! Peanut Bong!
I fucking love Peanut Bong.
Our favorite player, Peanut Bong. His name was so fucking funny that they included a picture of him in like the games, like I don't know exactly what the word for it is, but like when when they hand out information about the game to like journalists and stuff, and they have like a bunch of images, like promo images, an image of the boss saying Peanut Bong was handed off into one of those images.
Oh hell yeah!
The sun exploding. I wonder if the game will be canceled for bad weather. No joke. There were, and I am not kidding. There was pictures being passed around the Blaseball Discord at this time of like that image of the planet being hit by a meteor, and they're like, "Oh no, how's this going to affect the economy?" So what happens to the Legends when Parker continues his westward march? The Vaulted Legends would become unstable as well and be marked for death, but incinerations only happen in the middle of a game. You have to be playing a game for your team to be incinerated, and this is the only game the Vaulted Legends would ever play. So when Parker leaves here, they'd be marked as unstable, but they would never play another game again. So they would arguably be safe. The problem is Parker gets set loose on the entire rest of the league. This will dramatically affect salmon season. Not the salmon.
Not the salmon.
Right, you are right though. You are right. Rat Mason, which is a Rat Mason. This was interesting during this Vaulted Legends situation where I said the Vaulted Legends team will try and steal people from the Rising Stars. They kept on trying to grab Rat Mason over and over again. Rat Mason is over here somewhere. If I could find him. Here's Rat Mason. Every single time the Vaulted Legends tried to steal somebody from the Rising Stars team, it was a success. Every single time they'd grab somebody and drag them back into the Vaulted Legends, and they'd grab them, and that player would be permanently stolen into the vault. Rat Mason, however, was the only person who managed to avoid being grabbed, and they did it over and over again. This little slippery rat refused to be grabbed. So even the fucking loot crate is like pointing out like empty snare, like you can't catch Rat Mason. Season 2, New Discipline, the beginning of the beginning of the Discipline era. Here's the solar eclipse weather. It would be very funny if somebody died during this. I don't know. Here's inning 18. Jessica Telephone playing, batting, hitting a single. I want to see if I can get lucky, I might be able to see a score get scored. Here's like another inning happening. They're just like cycling out the pitchers and stuff. It's currently 15-2, top of the 20th inning. This game has been going on for like over an hour at this point, I think. He at best better than all now better than all now rest. Okay, they scored another run. Oh, hang on, go back. I think I saw I see fireworks. I assume that means like somebody scored a run, but no, that's not what happened.
Damn.
Here we go. Here's another one. Here we go. Vault inflates one balloon, blah, blah, once one run scored. Okay, so this was a weather effect that basically made it so no matter what, all of the runs you scored were positive. This was like a weather effect to counteract the weird negative shit. I don't know when the sun is gonna blow up, but eventually it started. I think every single time a player got stolen, the sun's pressure went up. That was what it was. So maybe we'll catch it happening. I don't know. How will the fish taste worse than tuna? You take that back. What if I still kill them, save the klepto lady, and she chases Walker, trying to place them back in the box? I don't know. That would be kind of funny if she like just grabbed Parker and was like, "You go back in the vault right now, young man." But no, Megan really likes that force field that she now has access to. If anything, she's not allowed to chase him because now that she's holding on to that force move, oh look, they approach Rat Mason. But Rat Mason evades them. He got away again.
Slippery rat. Let's go.
The slippery rat. They tried to steal Rat Mason and he got away again.
I want to see if there's a picture on Rat Mason.
Oh, the wiki has plenty of artwork of Rat Mason, I promise.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm so happy.
If you look up any player's name and you go on the wiki, you will find fan art. It's awesome. Yay! Successfully avoided abduction, yeah. Oh. I guess one of the weathers that came by was like the black hole, which eats runs if you have more than 10, so their score got reset to 4. Most major players have fan art. Yeah, if the player is in any way important for any reason, whether it be actual Blaseball story or just fans writing stories, there will be fan art. Torby Soul strikes out swinging because of fucking course they do. What stats do they have? Nothing. Oh god. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. We got to the point. Hang on. I gotta rewind to it. I gotta rewind to it. Show me. Okay, so here it is. Flood weather. Bottom of the 29th inning. This game goes on forever. So let's see what happened here. The Legends attempted a heist.
Oh,
They approached Nicholas Mora. The legends collected Nicholas Mora. Nicholas Mora was artificially forged. Sun's pressure built. Snack holders. Which, snack holders is this game's equivalent of, stockholders. So she's announcing to all the stockholders that the sun has exploded. What you're looking at right now is a literal supernova. Wow, look at those colors.
What? Huh? What?
The game was put on pause. Sun, supernova. The sun fucking exploded.
Okay, sure. Okay, sure. We'll just let that happen. Okay. Yes.
Sun appears to have exploded. Thanks, boss.
So power. You know, I'm not gonna question what the sun is. The sun to like the power, and it's the sun.
Sun has the pressure gauge on the sun is officially maxed out. The sun exploded.
So that's what it means by sun.
Yeah, Sun was the name of the square sun that was filling up the whole time. So Sun has now supernovaed. It has officially exploded. In light of recent events, she says. Let me see if it actually just tells me on the timeline. Here we go. Just so I can skip ahead. Snack holders. Wow, look at those colors. Yes, Sun appears to have exploded. This is like Sun squared, the square sun that was there. There's no reason to panic. In light of recent events, the semi-centennial will henceforth be cancelled. The result is a draw. See you in the election. Don't forget to #vote.
You do it now. I hate you. I hate you, boss. You piece of shit. You do it now, knowing you know this would happen. Yeah, you fucking did it.
What's Parker's full name? I want to see fan art. Parker Macmillan. There is the one we're looking at is Parker Macmillan the first. You might just need to look up Parker Macmillan. There have been multiple Parker Macmillans, but this is Parker Macmillan the first. My chaos take the world. I can pull up Parker's page. Hang on. Yeah, let me pull up Parker. Here we go. Is there any fan art of Parker on the wiki? There is some artwork of Parker. Parker's persona, Parker Macmillan. Let's go. I got a persona. Oh, that's awesome. There's Barker. Here's some fan art of some people shipped Parker and Megan Ito, so here's some ship art of like Parker and Megan. Here's some artwork of somebody's Parker dressed up for some kind of Met Gala. On an Odyssey, so here's Parker doing his Firewalker thing. Oh, I love the fact that he's got like these like spikes on his arm. That's creepy. Yeah. I like that. Parker no good very bad sunglasses. What is this? Megan Ito Parker run. I don't know what this is a reference to, but that's good. So this is just some fan art on like the wiki. The wiki does not have all of the fan art. There was so much more fan art. It's just this is what was uploaded onto the wiki at least. Usually there'd be like an image here, but I guess because this is like the end of Blaseball, the wiki didn't really get like a lot of interaction past this point. So I guess they just never posted a picture here. If I Parker Macmillan the 5th, let's see. So if I pull up Parker Macmillan the 5th, you get like a picture of his Twitter icon. This is his Twitter icon.
A live banned from Discord, Twitch, and Tumblr.
Oh yeah, banned from Discord. Yeah, that's right. He was officially banned from like the Discord and Tumblr and Twitter for some reason for Twitch.
Damn.
I don't remember exactly why, but that was like an officially stated thing. Like he's banned. He's not allowed.
Out.
So here's the commissioner once he was like having his little panic about learning about Parker Macmillan the 1st in the game. Parker Macmillan the 5th on Twitter was like reaching out to one of the game devs saying, "What is this?" And the dev was like, "Call me." This was really good. Like I'll get back to this later, but he later told the devs to call him, which was fucking good. It's like 12. Parker's first tweet. Oh my head, what the hell? A collection of notable tweets. Oh, this is awesome.
Oh fuck. It might have the crisis. So if it's this Parker I'm thinking of.
Here was him like tweeting about the coffee cup games that were happening. Thank you for watching Internet League Blaseball Coffee Cup Round 1, brought to you by Official Blaseball Blends. And he tweets saying, "Yeah, this coffee emoji, blood baseball emoji." One of the game devs says, "Hey, Blood, are you all right?" And he's like, "I'm fine." "Okay, good job." "Yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, fix your bio." Because this is when Parker was like first assigned to the job.
Mm.
Learning about Photoshop. At Blaseball, so messaging Parker on Twitter. I love the logo, bud. Do you know Photoshop? What? Photoshop. No thanks. Parker, call me.
Damn, he's really getting called.
Yeah. Here's the Society of Internet Blaseball Research team saying, Parker, surely you aren't trying to take credit for our work, right, friend? What's ump dog? He says.
Whoa. What?
Then Sibber messages one of the game devs saying, I think you need to tune Parker a bit more. Steven says, he's still a bit raw, flavor's getting there.
Wait.
The fucking researchers are like, what? Wait, what?
Hey?
Concerning.
Concerning.
Some random person messages Parker saying, what's up, Parker? And he says, not much, what's ump with you? Say, hey, bud, take it easy. Didn't you teach him how to make jokes in the first place? We had to dump a lot in there to get him up to speed, encouraging baby steps. So, let's see.
I just said that.
Okay, I'm up. What did I miss? Just this epic tweet. It's just a reference to his own tweet. He's like, yeah, I know I said that. I loved when Parker tweeted, because it was always some stupid bullshit. After discovering... So,
Party time.
usually when a team entered party time, he'd make some big tweet like, oh, congratulations, team, you're now in party time. And he posts like some happy little emojis of like party poppers and shit. This was after he learned about Parker McMillan, the player in the game.
Oh,
after he had his panic attack. So when the San Francisco Lovers hit party time, he just did not have the energy in him to tweet about it like in the way he normally does.
It's what it said on the fucking image caption.
Oh, did it?
Not the caption, but when you click on it, yeah.
Party time depression. Oh, you're right. That is the name of the image. He's sad.
He's sad.
Oh, this was during the semi-centennial. The anchor reaching out to Parker. This was I think as the sun was exploding, or like after the sun exploded. Hang on.
Oh.
Come on, Twitter.
Yeah, man.
I mean, not Twitter. Come on, website. I want to go back to that. So the anchor is like the guy who did the roundup YouTube videos, kind of summarizing the plot. Like, here's what happened within these past few seasons, and he was official to the game. He was like, the videos were being uploaded officially by like the game band, the company making these games.
Mm-hmm.
So although they worked as a good recap of things, it didn't explain everything, because just like Blaseball, they can't tell you everything right away. So this was just like a Twitter account for the guy who does recaps. And he reached out to Parker saying like, what's happening, Parker? It's getting louder. Everything is rattling. What is happening, Parker? I don't. Will you get a grip? Get in the game, Parker. He's scared.
We're scaring Parker, and for what?
Because Parker's going through a lot. I don't want to get any further because we're going to get into like spoilerish territory.
Be nice to Parker, goddamn you.
He's doing a good job. He's doing a good job.
He's doing an amazing job, and anyone says otherwise should be going to baseball 0.
Yeah.
Wait, this is the baseball. Wait, shit. Baseball 2.
Blaseball 2 is like
Baseball 2.
the greater leagues where the gate was and the fish. Blaseball 0 was the desert. This is just Blaseball 1. This is base Blaseball. Blaseball 1.
My first joke. I didn't say any other thing. It's Blaseball 0.
Can't believe they didn't include the mini. I forgot about the minis. I can definitely pull this up in a moment. I'll pull this up in a moment. I need to be able to Google those without my fucking address being shown on screen. So give me a moment.
Yeah, protect that.
Let me actually. Let me pull that up really quick. Hetria Sky is the artist's name. Minis. Here we go. So, Hetria was an artist who made these little tiny artworks of all the players.
Whoa.
Observing robot location, yeah. And people would just commission this artist, and they would draw a little tiny artwork of any player you requested. To the point where they basically made art of nearly every single player in the game. If somebody cared about a player, or the player was like on a main primary team, they received artwork in some way from Hetria. So if there's any player that stands out to you that you want to know what they look like, they exist on here. If I look at Parker, let's see. Yes, teams.
Maybe mascots and mints?
Oh, that'd probably be it. Yeah, Parker. Yeah. Actually, guess Team Parker had it. I had something for Parker on
Oh.
here. Here we go.
I have a park.
Here's Parker McMillan the fourth, the one that like was playing for the coffee cup. But
I love Parker.
mascot. Where's Parker? Huh? I know they had something. At least I could have sworn they did. Show all. Any team, others, all stars. Any team. They did. I know they did. I did remember a part. Yeah, that's why I'm like trying to find it. I'll put it in dark mode. Here he is. Here he is. I just missed him all the way up to some point. There we go. So here's a picture. Here's like some fan art of Parker McMillan with his like fireworker shoes or whatever. And also he comes in a wide variety of colors for every team he was ever on because he was constantly moving.
God damn.
Uh-huh. So if you have a favorite team, it's on here somewhere. I assume this is like one of the Canada ones because it's blue.
Yeah.
But yeah. So if you have a favorite player, I can pull up an image, but we'll get back to this. We can look at this later.
Yep.
So let's get back to the timeline. So the boss tells us don't forget the hashtag vote after the sun fucking exploded. Put on Tillman. Tillman. Here we go. Here's Tillman. This bitch.
Bitch, that
Fucker.
owes us $50.
Hate this man.
Hate him.
Okay. Blood Hamburger. Oh, Blood is a really fucking good one. Blood Hamburger.
Oh?
Give it a moment. Here he is.
Oh, oh my god.
Fucking creature. Tillman is goated though.
Ooh.
Tillman was a really good player is the problem. Tillman, we fucking hate him.
We hate him because he owes us
But he's good.
money.
You know, that's Blood Hamburger. So, elections began, and the boss showed up again, saying, "Rejoice! What a spectacular celebration! Here's to 50 years of fair play and another 50 ahead of us. We know what we know what you're thinking. Together, we face another crisis. We will stay the course, double down in our investments."
Yeah, sure, bud.
However, she was then immediately interrupted by a new entity, only mentioned so far in the prehistory, known as Namerfate, the fireman, who spoke in backwards text. The text being put forward here says, "Credit denied, service suspended, balance outstanding, assets underwater, bridges burned, final notice, fire sale."
Huh.
Then the boss... This seemed to shake the boss, who immediately replied saying, "We will win. We always win." This was followed by an emergency alert, which mirrored the messages with when the expansion era teams descended at the beginning of season 12, saying, "Emergency alert, executive actions, the coin flips over, under, over." Under, over was a phrase that was repeated multiple times throughout Blaseball for multiple reasons, usually relating to things that the reader was saying. This was accompanied by the flipping of the depth chart.
What?
Let me just go to season 24, day 50.
The worms would go down, but it's not the depths anymore.
Yeah. Where's my mouse? There it is. So if I go to the chart, oh, the chart's, hang on.
Yeah.
23 day. Actually, let me just go to the fucking. Let me see. I'll just use this.
Yeah.
Set up elections, credit denied. Election results. Okay, so this was after Nimmerfate had showed up. Actually, I can go back and show you Nimmerfate really quick because he only shows up for a few moments in the game.
Yeah.
Skip ahead. So this is Nimmerfate. He is literally a YouTube embed on the page. This is what he looks like. So the coin is the coin, the squid is the squid, and Nimmerfate is a YouTube embed.
Okay.
Denied.
Okay, sure.
His creature, our creature. The worm shall devour the sky. This history is doomed. So yeah, so here's the fireman coming in, basically saying, I guess like sales were going so far under with the boss in charge that like he's denying her ability to like take out more loans or something. Like she's done.
Holy whoa! Excuse me, fire sale. Thank you, Tucker. You're doing a great
Holy
job.
whoa! So we skip ahead from here, get Nimmerfate off the screen, and we go and we look at the depth chart, and I need to put a fucking screenshot of this again because I need to screenshot this again because
yeah. Also, oh
you can see, you can see the worms are still at the bottom. So you'd think,
Yeah.
okay, things are okay. But
No.
it's not because the shark is at the top now.
Hmm.
So all of these teams that were putting in all of this effort to get away from the water, get away from like being underwater and all that stuff, and they're now high in the sky, are now the ones being attacked by sharks. And suddenly the chart makes a bit more sense. When the crabs ascended into Blaseball 2, when they ascended to the gate, this is how things were meant to be. This is how Blaseball was meant to be. The chart was upside down from the start.
What?
We just had no idea.
No, what?
When the crabs ascended, they went to Blaseball 2, which should have been at the top of the chart, as it is now.
Oh my god.
The consumers are there to try and keep you away from ascending. They're supposed to, like, stop you from, like, I guess, ascending to greater leagues unless you were, like, good enough to break past. The problem is when when season 12 first started, I'm talking, like, way back. Let me see. Season 12. When was the first time the phrase over, under, over was stated? That's not the only time. There's more than that. Why is it not letting me? I don't know. The first time it seems to be mentioned is in season 12, when the reader did the tarot card reading, and gave my boy Kennedy Rogers under over and the player Curry Alicia Keys over under. That was the first time it was mentioned. All the way back in season 12 was when under over under was first mentioned. So now it's getting flipped again. Let's see, hang on. Oh, now it's saying over under. My bad, I misread that. So, emergency alert, the coin flips over, under. So now things that should be over are over, and things that should be under are under. Things are as they should be. So now we know that this is how the chart was supposed to be from the very beginning. And now we've learned that all of this effort we've done to try and get away from, like, the shark-infested waters is now here to literally bite us in the ass, as we are now fighting against everything we were trying to stop to begin with. Yeah, all of this effort for just to fucking kick us down.
Ooh.
It was then accompanied by the flipping of the depth chart, now placing the desert at the bottom and the gate at the top. Teams that were above the line were now marked with the red dot, indicating that they should be attacked by consumers. Only 5 teams decided... Oh, hang on. They're talking about, like, the crates and stuff. During the elections, you were allowed to vote for a few things to try and prevent Parker from causing issues. There was a crate called the Roamless crate, which made it so Parker was not allowed to go to your team. You were not allowed to have roaming players go to your team. Only 5 teams went for that for some reason. The other teams went for a item that made it so if you died of instability, the instability did not spread. So if Parker left you and your team died, you wouldn't spread the instability to another team. It would just, Parker would be the only one spreading it, not you. And the other team, I think 2 other teams went for a crate called the Squiddish crate, which made it so when your team was incinerated, instead of being replaced by a brand new team, you'd instead be replaced by a team that previously was incinerated way in the past. So no matter what happens, it was always going to be bad. If Parker didn't go to your team, he would just go to another team. So Roamless wasn't all that useful. It didn't stop. It saved you, but it didn't save the rest of the league. The containment crate or whatever just made it so you didn't spread the instability, but it didn't exactly protect anybody else or you. It just made it so it wasn't worse. And then the Squiddish crate was just interesting. Like, okay, you get replaced by a team that used to exist in the past, but it doesn't fix anything. Nothing was going to be good here. It was always going to be bad, unless every single team went for Roamless, and I don't even know what would happen then. But that's not what happened. Only 5 teams went for that for some reason. This was something the fans got to vote on, and only 5 teams did it. Only 5... Oh, my bad, I got it backwards. Only 5 teams did not go with the Roamless crate. So the Garages, Shoe Thieves, Pies, Fridays, and Tigers did not go for roamless. They got other things. Every other team went for roamless. So the Parker McMillan was basically only jumping between these 5 teams. Additionally, the reader placed every team in the ILB as under review, which was what is it? It was just a permanent modification that literally just said this team is under review. We didn't know what that meant. Of course the Tigers didn't. Yeah, of course the Tigers didn't. Why would they? Don't worry about the Tigers. They're fine. The monitor also would remark on how the current market trends were affecting the events The monitor would also remark on how current market trends were affected by the events of the semi-centennial. The sundaes melted. Too hot. How is this going to affect the economy?
The economy.
The Canada Moist Talkers ended up winning the championship that season. They got like some new blessing on them. Nothing important. It was just interesting. Other notable election results. Another player, the lottery pick blessing came back. The one that brought Jalen Hot Dog Fingers back from the dead a long time ago. They voted to bring back another player who had previously died, and they also came back with debt and return, so basically the exact same thing. That happened to Jalen, happened to a new player now, but this is the end of the game. I don't think that fucking matters anymore.
Yeah, no.
Population is devastated. The Pies would also receive the Season 11 blessing, which changed their tarot card from the Hermit, sharing with the Kansas City Breathments. So that changed their tarot card to Death. Because I know that Kansas City Breathments had the Death card. I don't think this did anything. It was just the Pies now had the Death tarot card, which is ominous. That's all it did. Vault swap, swapping players with the vault. So a player was taken out of the vault and swapped with a player who was not in the vault. After the elections, Pudge Nagamoto roamed out of the Hall of Flame, like, because of course he does. He literally walks out of hell every time. Parker McMillan, now no longer held in place by the force field, roamed out of the vault and roamed onto the Hawaii Fridays lineup. By leaving the vault, McMillan left every player actively in the vault unstable. This doesn't really matter, because the Vault Legends are never going to play another game again, so they're just kind of sitting in there unstable, but Parker is now on the Fridays, the Hawaii Fridays. I still have the chart on screen. You don't need to... I guess it doesn't matter, because I'm just reading things, but... Yeah, at the start of season... at the end of season 24, if I go to the leagues, season 23 is now over. We always win, she says, staring over the entire league ominously. If I go to the Hawaii Fridays... where is he? Parker McMillan on the Fridays. Parker has entered Blaseball as we know it. He is just a regular player now, and he still has everything he ever had before. Goddamn. He's still marked as legendary, but he's not in the vault anymore. He walked out. Where are we? Here we go. Season 24, a fiery start. The season began with the coin addressing the fans. Let me see. I'm just checking how long I've been live. I actually don't know how long I've been live because I had to reset stream pretty early on. The coin addresses the fans, saying that due to recent events, the election would be postponed. Meanwhile, the monitor, the giant squid, lamented the heat and wished for a break to return back to the trench. Events quickly kicked off. Supernova eclipse was a new weather effect, which I will just jump ahead to show you that because it was kind of cool looking. 24, day 3. Season 24, day 3. So there's a new weather effect called supernova eclipse, which don't worry about the jazz. That was a funny thing. Jazz happened every once in a while, but the game begins. Top of the first inning, firefighters batting, and it tells you who goes up to bat and everything. I forgot about the jazz. A rip opens. Skiwa Shuba's supernova eclipse. Every single game is being played in the middle of a supernova eclipse. So, Consumers Attack scores base runner. There's a player immediately being attacked by a shark. The moment I roll down, there's a player being killed. Here's a player doing a skateboard trick. Oh, they're gone. Yeah, late game Blaseball, things were happening all the time. You could not see something happen always. It was fucking hell. Anyway, the reason it's a supernova eclipse is because of her standing in front of the fucking supernova. What a beautiful day for Blaseball, she says, as she stands in front of a supernova, eclipsing all of the light down onto the fields. She is basically, at this point, purposely trying to incinerate the entire league, because I believe incinerations in Blaseball are a thing that you were able to, but I don't know exactly how it all works, but it's been like something that we've understood in the background, that like bad things happening to the players, bad things happening in Blaseball is good for the Blaseball economy. I don't know exactly how it works, but things that are bad happening in Blaseball are good for the Blaseball economy. And at this point, because she's like so far in the red, she's been like denied by the fireman or whatever, saying like, you're done, we're done with you. She's just trying to liquidate the entire league. She's trying to like get as much money out of this as she can before it fucking dies. So she's purposely trying to kill everybody at this point.
Cool, that's great.
Yeah, so she's quite literally causing an eclipse on every game. Jazz was just a funny weather that did literally nothing. It just existed to fill in the weather slot here and say it was Jazz. And then the moment the game started, another weather effect was picked. So you were just not able to predict what the weather was going to be in the next game. It was just like a little mask, like, what's the next weather? We don't know. That's why as soon as the game started, it was like, the supernova eclipse. Sorry, they're all eclipses now. That's just how it is. So I'm on... Let's see. I'm currently on day 3 of season 24. And if anybody watches... If anybody knows Blaseball, you know season 24, day 3 is important. Because we've learned very quickly, honestly fairly quickly, just how dangerous supernova eclipse weather is. I'm going to skip right to it. Here. So we're watching this game here. Breath Mints versus the Pies. Rodriguez Internet is batting for the Breath Mints. Things are going pretty standard. Rogue Umpire incinerates the Kansas City Breath Mints. They're replaced by the Oxford Paws. Rodriguez Internet and Leech Ingram joined the Paws because they had the Fire Eater ability, which made them immune to incineration. The entirety of the Kansas City Breath Mints team is dead. They all just died right in front of our faces, and they got replaced by a new team.
Okay, sure.
This team wasn't even marked as unstable by Parker. This is just something that can happen in the same way that regular solar eclipses can just randomly incinerate players.
Okay.
This eclipse weather can just kill entire teams.
Jesus.
The entirety of the Breath Mints are now gone. They are just dead. If I go into the Hall of Flame, here they are at the bottom.
Holy fuck.
Here's some of the players. Here's Winnie Hess, that player I showed you earlier with the insane stats. Dead. Her team died. She's gone.
Okay.
The entirety of this fucking team just died. This is the team that has existed since season 1. They've always been here. I can go to fucking season 3, day 1. Like, look, here's where are they? Here they are versus the Firefighters, Breath Mints. They've been here since fucking 2020. And here we are looking at season 24, day 3. This is July 2021. It has been an entire fucking year and this team just died. They're just gone. The entire team. Did you start this game as a fan of the Kansas City Breath Mints? Too bad. They're dead. Fuck you. Ow. I've been alive for 3 hours. I guess that's not too bad. Breath Mints gone. Fucking gone dead forever. Goodbye, Breath Mints. Fuck.
Okay.
On day 3, the Kansas City Breath Mints were incinerated during a supernova eclipse. Their Fire Eater ability players migrated onto the Oxford Paws, the new team. This sent the league into a panic. The Breath Mints weren't even unstable, having not even received Parker McMillan at the start of the season. Teams could now just be incinerated at any time. The monitor showed up after the game ended and gave the Breath Mints a personal send-off. The Breath Mints, follow me, take a break. Beat the heat in the trench. It's cool down there. Oh, and Pudge, the door's open. Shout out to Pudge Nakamoto. Pudge Nakamoto, the player who just walked out of hell multiple times, was originally a not Moist Talkers, a Kansas City Breathmints player. The Kansas City fans actually fucking hated Pudge. So him basically saying like, come on, Breathmints, you can hang out with me in the trench. It's cold down there. Also, Pudge, come on down if you want to come down here.
Come on down, bud.
Not only were the Breathmints fans fucking devastated that their entire team died, but the fact that the monitor was just like, I am pointing out the fact that you hate this guy and telling him he's allowed to join you if you want. I don't know if that's a positive thing or not, because I'm literally inviting him to hell. But your team's down here, buddy, if you want to hang out. Parker McMillan, having been on the Fridays at the end of Season 3 election, roamed away from the Fridays on Day 9, as he should, marking the entire team was unstable. On Day 12, the dangers of the unstable manifested, and the Fridays were incinerated, replaced by the Carolina Queens. The Carolina Queens were a team that existed in prehistory, but because the Fridays had the Squiddish modification, they got, instead of getting a brand new team, they got replaced with the Queens. So here's an old team that existed. We didn't really know anything about them. They just existed in the past, and now they're back.
Yay, I guess.
The Fridays also received a personalized send-off from the monitor saying, hey, it's island time. Come with me to the trench. The vibes are right. The only two teams incinerated during the entirety of Season 24 were the Breathmints and the Fridays. Parker jumped back and forth between quite a few teams throughout the season. Oftentimes he'd be on the Tigers, which would be cool. Other times he'd go to other teams, and they just wouldn't be incinerated because they got lucky.
Was my team, was Moist Talkers one of them?
Moist Talkers, I believe had the roamless crate. I could check.
Oh.
I believe they made it so Parker was not allowed to go there.
I hope so.
Here's another player. Countered with the aluminum steel chair of vanity. Let's go.
Let's
Jolie
go.
and Willow Tree beating sharks to death with a fucking aluminum steel chair.
They got with the steel chair.
Roamless, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so they were roamless.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, so Parker was not allowed to go to the Moist Talkers. Also,
Get in here, bitch.
Shout out to this player. Shout out to this player, Jenkins Good. This was my friend Leo's favorite player in the entire fucking world.
Hell yeah.
I love Jenkins. Check it out. Friend of Crows. I love you.
Oh.
Where are we now? Depth flip. With the depth board flipped over during the elections of Season 23, teams that had low E density were now vulnerable to attacks by consumers, and those who had high E density, who'd previously been attacked, were now safe. These attacks continued and lasted until the early siesta. Kansas City Breathmints, more like Kansas City Deadmints. They quite literally often refer to themselves as the Deathmints just because of the fact that they had the Death Tarot card. A call to action, hang on. Come early siesta, the circumstances of the season drastically changed. Following a minor speech by the coin, an emergency alert occurred declaring that the Sun supernova had collapsed. The black hole was draining, and pulsar was beaming.
What?
The supernova was collapsing into a black hole. A very, very big black hole. At least it was starting to. And there was like a giant fucking pulsar beaming out of the fucking thing, because that's what happens with black holes and stuff. The coin quickly declared that she would fix it, and called a siesta. The siesta was immediately interrupted by the microphone tuning in and the commissioner speaking through it to the fans directly, both on the site and on Twitter at the exact same time. If I go to Parker's page, I can actually pull up when he was doing this. Let's see. So here we go. Here we, like, before he even did his like speech on the website, he was like messaging the microphone on Twitter saying, "Hey microphone, are you dead? I need you to wake up, like trying to get the microphone working." And from that point on, anytime he sent a message on Twitter, it also popped up on Blaseball's website. So they showed up at the exact same time. He was speaking through the microphone on Twitter, and those messages were being broadcasted onto Blaseball.com. Saying, "Hello, this is Parker McMillan the Fifth speaking. I am the Blaseball commissioner. I'm not sure what's happening. I don't know if we can fix it, but I know she doesn't care what happens to you. She doesn't care where you end up. It's not fair. You deserve a say, but you gotta go fast. Don't give up. Help each other. Get moving." With the end of the Earl Siesta, fans quickly discovered a new mechanic that had been made available. In place of the depth chart, a map appeared, which I will pull up the map. I just need to jump ahead to season 24, let's go 50. Hee. Ball shop. Navigate map. So here is a map, which is not going to properly show up on the website because it's built off the same thing as the depth chart. So let me fix that really quick. Depth chart replace image. Yes. Here we go. Here we go. Here's the depth chart. So what was originally a grid of like highs and lows has now turned into a grid of corners and a centerpiece. Most of the teams are currently down in the desert corner with the reader. A few of the teams are all the way on the bottom left towards a black hole. I believe it's the black hole that's forming because of the supernova. You can tell because it's a square black hole from like the square sun that exploded into a square supernova. That's the square black holes. Black hole. Up in the top left corner, we have Luocrates and the vault, where all the players are being stored. And in the top right, this is actually the Hall of Flame. This is where the dead players go.
Oh.
So that's like the afterlife up there. So we have the reader who does like tarot cards, literally the gates of like to the afterlife, a vault and a black hole. And in the very center of the map is the supernova. Let's see. We also had, before I even go on, I can also show you, we also have options to steer, where you're able to, instead of voting in an election, you're able to vote in a direction. So instead of saying, I want this thing for this next season, it was instead, I want to steer my team towards this corner of the map. So you're able to choose a corner. So you're able to use your vote tickets to vote in which direction you want it to steer. And then lastly, aid. As you can see, there's little rocket emojis. This is like your fuel gauge. This is how much fuel you had. And you were allowed to, you weren't able to put fuel to your own. You were allowed to put fuel towards other people. So in this case, you were donating money to help teams fund their rockets to fuel them and so they can move around the board. So it was a bunch of teamwork of like helping each other move around. The reader's eye is the eye of reason. Where did the worms go? I believe the worms went to the black hole. Because when the crabs ascended the first time and they went to Blaseball 0 back in the day, Blaseball 0, or Blaseball 2, my bad, Blaseball 2. Back in the day when crabs were ascended for like one season or so, you were able to see the crabs by clicking on the black hole. And so not only did the black hole like weather effect the black hole weather effect seemingly contained Blaseball 2. The crabs, when the crabs came back to Blaseball 1, as we know it, they broke the black hole and they spilled back into the game with 3 teams. The Worms, the Atlantis Georgias, and the Mechanics. They were all in the black hole at some point, and they all came spilling out when the crabs came back. So the Worms wanted to go back to the black hole because they assumed that was how you got to Blaseball 2. Or at least that's where they were from whence they came, exactly. They wanted to return home. Same with the crabs. That's why the crabs are in the black hole corner. They're trying to go home. A crab always returned to he hole, if I remember correctly, as the fan said. He hole. So as I've shown, we are now all in rockets, piloting our teams into a direction.
Okay.
That is how the game has turned. We are now picking sides. Let's see. With the end of Earl Siesta, fans quickly discovered new mechanics, with the depth chart now becoming a map. Destinations, each represented by a corner, or end zones, like a football term. The upper left was the vault, represented by Luocrates. Lower right was the desert, represented by the reader. The upper right was the hall, represented by the pulsar. But that's where the Hall of Flame is. That's where the giant squid is. In the lower left was the horizon, represented by the black hole. Finally, the supernova eclipse icon was dead in the center of the map, the location of the coin. Initial placements on the map were determined based on the team's position on the depth chart before it turned into this. And in place of an election, fans can vote in which direction they wanted to turn themselves on the map. Additionally, fans could spend coins and, later on, snacks in order to fuel travel with their fellow teams. The map slowly rotated clockwise over the course of the season, ultimately resembling a baseball diamond in the end. That is true. As of right now, let me see if I can pull it up again. Hang on. It's kind of hard to show because, again, the website doesn't really want me to show anything. But
Mhm.
as you can see, the game is currently like a square. But as the game went on, I'll go to season 24, day 90 or something. Wait, actually, that might be too far. Hang on. Wait, no, hang on. No, it's fine. It's fine.
Mm,
It's
okay.
it's like vaguely fine. You can see it's kind of rotating.
Oh yeah, what?
Day. I don't want to go too far because I'm gonna get like kind of spoilery if I go too far. In fact, this is already kind of getting spoilery, but things are rotating. I'll go back to day 50. There was a little bit on there. You didn't see anything. Let's see. On day 34, the Moist Talkers became the first team to actually reach their corner. They went towards the Pulsar, the Hall of Flame, the side with the squid, because of course they did. The Moist Talkers love the squid. So
I love my squid.
we love the squid, the Moist Talkers. So when the Moist Talkers got there, the monitor said, "Hey Talkers, how did you get here? Slippery. Your pals are inside. Can't let you in yet, though. Busy aiding the others, but stay near." So that was.
Yay!
So the Moist Talkers got to the corner here. You can see there's a whole bunch of teams kind of stacked up here in the corner.
Let's go.
They're all just kind of hanging out there in the corner, trying their best to stay nearby because Squid told them to. But they got there first. You have no idea how happy the fans were that the monitor actually talked to them directly. My friend nearly cried.
Aw.
It was like they were like, "Oh my god, he talked to us. He talked to us."
Oh my god, it's him!
Mhm.
They talked to us!
Yeah.
Yay!
On day 51, the Sunbeams were the first team to reach the desert, which prompted a following message from the reader: "Touchdown, Sunbeams." Blank text, usually referring to a player being swept elsewhere. Overtime, tear down, sand traps, spike set, rebuild, charge the mound, trust the process. The Sunbeams
Thank
team then
you.
immediately became scattered, turning all of the names on their players' team and their players' teams into just dashes, as if the entire
Oh.
team was like sent elsewhere and they lost their names like how they used to.
Mm.
Upon seeing the phrase "charge the mound," the Hellmouth Sunbeams, which I want to correct, firefighters did it first. It was our idea first, and then the Sunbeams were like, "Yeah, that makes sense," and then they listened to us. But Sunbeams got there first, so they get the credit. Upon seeing the phrase "charge the mound," the Hellmouth Sunbeams, as well as other teams that eventually ended up reaching the desert, changed course and headed directly towards the boss at the center of the map, the position where the
Holy
pitcher's
shit.
mound would be on a baseball field.
Holy shit.
Because, you know, charge the mound is a thing that happens in baseball where the batter gets fucking pissed off and charges towards the pitcher and wants to fucking throw down. So
Yeah, totally.
So the fact that the reader mentioned charge the mound and the map was slowly turning into a baseball field, we were like, oh fuck, we're like
fuck.
home plate, and they just said charge the mound. We gotta fucking kill her.
Get her ass now!
Here's the
Finally,
funny
we
thing.
can take over the monarchy!
The funny thing is the devs have later gone on to say that was not the intention of what the reader said, and they basically had to reprogram the ending of the game on the fly to go along with this.
Holy shit.
I love that. So they started charging towards the supernova in the middle. On day 65, the Sunbeams reached the supernova, prompting the message from the boss, commonly seen standing directly in front of the supernova, saying, in scattered text, "What are you doing? What are you doing? This behavior is unacceptable." As more scattered teams continued to rush the mound, this prompted the following response of her saying, "You can't do this." During late siesta, the boss began a scattered speech about how our growth would be exponential, endless, eternal. The boss was, however, interrupted by the arrival of the monitor sporting a new pair of sunglasses. And the following rebuttal, which I kind of want to see if I can pull that up, because he looked cool.
I want to see it. Oh. Here
we go.
Yeah.
So here she is being like torn to bits and like
Jesus.
she's like, of course, going through, she's being scattered, she's falling apart, she's trying to tell us about how like everything's eternal, everything's gonna be fine, and then of course I'm skipping through here as fast as I can. Here he is.
Nah, bad news, Buzz.
No.
No. I love them. They Binky.
Binky.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So She started a scattered speech about how our growth is going to be exponential, endless, and eternal. The boss, however, was interrupted by the arrival of the monitor, sporting a new pair of sunglasses with the following rebuttal. No, bad news, boss. I quit. Oh, hey. I can let you in now. Or out, I guess. Just sneak out. I'm off duty. Get out there. You're on deck. Close the shop. With this announcement, the map was then flooded with every incinerated team in the hall, producing 15 prehistory teams, as well as the Kansas City Moist Talkers and the Hawaii Fridays. They all
Holy
swarmed
shit.
onto the map all at once. Everybody who was ever dead was now out and on the field.
Holy fuck.
These teams were all marked as deceased, but gained the rogue modification. And they, alongside the other teams who had reached the hall, quickly moved in to rush the mound as the Sunbeams had earlier. So,
Fuck.
much as a rogue umpire would do, suddenly all of these teams who were marked as rogue were like, hey, we can do that too now. This team is out for a surprise attack.
Holy shit.
Hashtag girl murder. So somewhere in this pile is the Moist Talkers, if I can get to them. I don't know if I can.
My boy.
League. They're in here somewhere. Here we go. The Canada Moist Talkers went rogue.
That's what you
There
like
you
to
go.
see.
This team is out for a surprise attack. They're gonna go kill.
Kill.
There's your guys. Them and every other team who had previously died. The Breath Mints, the Hawaii Fridays, Hades Tigers, because the Hades Tigers also went to that corner. Every team that went into that corner, they all just died kind of instantly because I guess they were just allowed to enter death.
Yeah.
Even if they weren't dead before, they're dead now, and they're all rogue, and they all want blood. The Hades Tigers, the Dallas Stakes, the Seattle Garages, the Oregon
Green
Psychics,
Hill
the
Hedgehogs.
Whales, the Green Hill Hedgehogs. That was a team. Check this out. This player's name is Miles. This player's name's
shit.
Speed. You're Sunny. Do you like Sonic the Hedgehog?
He busts a Knuckles. That's a good.
Yeah, there was a Knuckles.
redemption.
The devs had a little bit of fun making up these fake teams because they just existed in the history. Here come the fucking Green Hill Hedgehogs coming out to fucking kill.
Sonic the Hedgehog's gonna kill her.
Yeah, so
Fuck yeah.
Hang on. Speed. Here's the fan art of Speed Samino.
Oh my god! Holy shit! That's so
Of course-
cool.
These are not official images, of course. This is just fan art, but like they all
I
got
still love
something.
it.
No, here's the Knuckles player. Kielbasa Knuckles.
Oh my god.
We'd love that.
Oh, that's so cool.
Sonic the Hedgehog is also canon alongside Goku.
Huh. That's
Uh,
crazy.
The map flooded with every incinerated team, including Hawaii Fridays and the Breath Mints. They were all marked as deceased and rogue, and they all charged the mound. On day 82, the Hades Tigers were the first rogue team to reach the boss, and as a result of collaborative effort between several teams, the Reader, the Commissioner, and the Monitor, the coin was incinerated. She
Holy
says, stop,
shit.
what? You can't do that. Who do you think you are? She said this plenty of times. We know this is her saying, we will win. We always win. We're fans just like you. Melting sounds.
Well,
Of course the Tigers are first. Of course they are. Who's the one out for blood more than anybody, aside from the fucking Hades Tigers? The team that already was killing umpires like nothing.
huh.
With that, the boss no longer appeared on the site, taking the very concept of money with her, as coins also disappeared from the website. Any fans providing aid to other teams to steer were now able to use the remaining snacks they had in their backpacks to donate to the cause.
Holy shit.
So, yeah, so right now, if I go to the map and I hit aid, I'm able to donate money, like the money in my pocket. This is the money you would use to buy snacks. This is the money you use to buy votes. This is the money you use to buy the votes to vote to steer your ship around. You had money. Obviously, the website's just giving me infinite right now. But if I jump ahead to that point in the game, let's say 24 day, I'm just going to take a guess. What season did it say happened? 82. So let's go to 83, just to be sure. I keep clicking the wrong fucking buttons. This one. Day 83. Suddenly, the money button is gone. I no longer have
Oh.
the money. It just doesn't exist anymore. If I want to aid somebody and I hit gift, actually the website seems to be. Oh, how many snacks do you want to contribute? See, it says I have 1,001 because if I go into my league idle standing, Book library. I guess I'm not allowed to see what I have in my bag right now because the shop is
Yeah.
gone. There's no.
Sorry.
What are you gonna do? Buy things? You have no money. So
Nope.
So the here we go. I got 1 ticket and 1,000 peanuts. So I only have 1,001 to donate. So instead of donating money, I am now donating items out of my backpack. So I think I remember, was it season 17? I'll just jump to 250. Fairly early in the game, there was a point where you had the ability to remove slots out of your bag to increase
Yeah.
you were able to
Oh my
increase
God.
like how good your stuff was. A lot of people would just go like all in on like pickles or something, which makes it so you gained money every time your favorite player stole a base. A lot of players at this point in the game had their backpacks really heavily optimized, meaning they didn't have a lot of slots. They were all just like stacked up on a single item. So when this happened, the players who had a lot of slots and a bunch of items had way more who were like, the people who were not focusing on being capitalistic and making as much money as possible had way more to give to people than the people who were trying to make as much money as possible.
Holy shit.
You kind of got fucked over if you were playing this game as like money optimization as possible because you didn't have all that many items at that point. So season 24, day 83. Yeah, so at this point, the shop is gone. If you want to help anybody, you have to give them the fucking peanuts you got in your bag. Like, that's all you can do. That's all you have is the shit you have in your bag. So at this point, like, teams were starting to run low on fuel because of that, which is making things get really scary. Save situation. The Ohio Worms were the first team to reach the horizon. But there was no additional message when they arrived. The horizon was the only quadrant not associated with any entity. Though, on day 27, the black hole began to nullify in-game rules, items, and ballpark modifications through a black hole weather event. So, at this point in the game, which if I can click on the right fucking tab, because I'm always clicking the wrong one. If I go to League, watch, skip ahead by 5 minutes. Wait, hold on. I'll get back to that in a bit. That was funny, but let's see. Here's a weather event. The black hole. Isn't that cool? It's like actually fucking rotating. Like this black hole is a weather effect, and instead of doing what it normally did in Blaseball terms, where it like 8 runs and things like that, this weather effect was just eating rules out of the rule book, eating items, eating ballpark modifications, basically returning Blaseball to the way it was, where the game was much simpler. Some stupid rule that was put in the game because the fans voted for it, and it was making things complex. The black hole would just suck that thing away. It was gone. The rule is no longer in play anymore. Games are a little bit simpler. Let's see. The black hole began nullifying rules, items, and ballpark modifications. So it was every single time your team scored 10 runs, your score would be reset to 0, but the black hole would eat something important. So maybe it was a game rule, maybe it was an item. It did something. On day 79, after the Philly Pies scored their 10th run of the game against the Yellowstone Magics, the black hole nullified the entirety of the Philly Pies who were on that corner of the horizon quadrant.
Okay.
The Pies immediately lost the game and disappeared from the standings page.
Oh.
Teams that were set to play them would have the game end immediately and earn the team a non-loss. So that's why I scrolled down really quick. The underdog Millennials won the game. Millennials non-lost due to nullification. Basically, the Millennials won because the Pies didn't even show up.
Huh.
They're not dead. They're just gone.
Not. Oh, yeah.
And I really want to see if I can find something really quick. Give me a moment. I'm gonna need to remove this really quick. I need to find something funny.
Okay.
Please tell me I could find it. Let me go on to Twitch, of all things. I'm going to see if I can find this. Please tell me I can find this. I need to actually go on my fucking Twitch account so I can look in the category of Blaseball that I'm currently looking in, so I can look at a bunch of things about Blaseball. All videos, highlights, clips, all videos. Can I find it? No? Huh. Oh, top in 7 days? No, all-time clips. All-time Blaseball clips, please. Where is it? Here we go. I found it. Hang on. I gotta pause my music. I was looking for a particular clip. Here we go. The Chrome audio should be being picked up, I believe. Yes. So here was the stream between Bissage and Rowan, two Pies fans,
Oh no.
watching the game.
Oh no. Oh boy. Uh, uh, oh my god.
God. I was unfortunately listening to another stream when this happened, and the stream just ended here, if I remember correctly. They just ended the fucking Twitch stream.
Holy shit.
And then Bissage went into the stream I was watching and was just like, I caught that live or something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was just like, immediately we were like, everybody was like, oh my god, Bissage was streaming it. Bissage got it on Twitch. We watched it happen. It was live. We got it. So yeah, that was the Pies being fucking removed from the game in real time.
God, man.
God, I love that fucking highlight so much. It's so funny. Just like the way that the Rowan was just like, what, like nobody knows what's happening. The most horrifying thing ever just happened. Anyway, here's the firefighters team. You could barely tell it's them because the name is nullified. Not nullified, scattered. Everybody on the team is scattered. You could barely tell who's who. I can tell who's who because I'm a fucking nerd and I know my team. This player right here, Lou Rosehart. Love you. But yeah, like all this bullshit's happening. Every team that went to the desert's name is just missing. All the players who went to the corner are now playing the game despite being dead. They're all rogue.
That's fine.
The players who went to the corner with the black hole are going missing.
Ooh. Everything's got just down shit again.
Mhm.
Like how I was like, how could it get worse? Like
It gets worse. It gets worse.
okay.
As I mentioned before, the Georges were always the team trying to do something different, trying to do like be plot important in some way. So they were actually the one team who went towards the vault, and I guess I'll get to that later. But it seemed as if the vault was going to be a lot more plot relevant than it ended up being because we all decided to charge the mound. Like they had to rewrite the ending of the game on the fly because of what we did. So unfortunately, the ending of the game changed. I believe something more important would have happened with the vault in the same way that like the squid came over here and talked to these people, and then like she mentioned charge them out and everybody went and did that. I assume something like that was going to happen for the Georges going up there, but because of the whole charge the mound thing, that didn't end up happening. And again, I love you guys. You guys tried so fucking hard. I feel so bad for everything that happened. Let's see. The Ohio Worms were the first to reach the horizon. Nothing happened. The Pies were nullified. On day 32, immediately after the incineration of the boss, the following message alert appeared on the site. Emergency alert. Currents merge. Tides spaghettify. Black hole expands. The event horizon of the black hole began expanding towards outwards from its corner. Without coins, teams could now donate the remaining snacks they had as fuel instead. Any teams caught within the event horizon were nullified. The most teams spent the remainder of the season attempting to escape into one of the remaining end zones. So as you can see here, the black hole is expanding. It is slowly beginning to spread and cover the board.
Oh, gee.
And this is day 83. So if I jump ahead to season 24, day 84, you can see it should get a little bit bigger. Let it load for a moment, I think. We skip forward to 5 minutes. Here we go. You can see it's a little bit bigger. Every single day that went by in this game, the black hole started getting bigger and bigger. And at this point, we only had one thing we can do, and that is run. We had to run into one of the corners as quickly as we could, or else we'd be eaten by the fucking black hole.
Jesus Christ.
So the supernova has officially fully collapsed. We have incinerated the coin. She's dead. Money no longer exists. And we are all basically spending what little bit of food and snacks we have to fuel our rockets, to run into one of the corners and pray for our safety. Give me a second. Let's see. On day 82, when the threat of the black hole and the coming horizon, they misspelled the fucking name. It's not Loot Crates, it's Luocrates, you idiots.
Luocrates! Hey,
Luocrates. They forgot the accent on the O. I see you. Anyway, Luocrates appeared to offer the following. An open vault, advances runners, escaping horizon. The historian calls safe. Going forward, any teams that received the vault, who reached the vault on top of the map, were given the forced modification and removed from the map. So if you manage to reach the vault in the corner where the Georges were, the Georges are gone now. You can't even see them because they got put in the vault.
Oh.
They got put in the vault with everything else. If I go to the vault, well, I guess I don't see them, but it was implied that they went into the vault. So now the vault is like declared. The Luocrates at least declared the vault a safe space, in a way. The reader also presented the following response: interception, flag on the play, holding. So some people were also heading towards the corner with the desert and the reader and stuff like that as well. So as the game went on, as the days went on, we're currently on 84. Let's jump to day 95, because by day 95, things were already getting really, really fucking bad. Because every single day, the thing expands. It is covering the entire fucking map now. What's up, Blaseball Lord?
Where's
you having fun?
Boys?
The Moist Talkers, they are right here trying to rush for the vault.
Okay, thank God. They're like somewhat getting there. That's fine. That's fine by me. Oh man.
So let's jump ahead to day 99.
Please,
99.
My boys.
And day 99, I have to skip ahead another 5 minutes.
Come on.
Oh, hang on, that's a little too far.
Oh, too far, yeah.
Day 99, it is literally one away from every corner. All of these teams,
so close.
These teams were the teams that like didn't have any fans, because these were like the teams that didn't exist. Nobody knew who the Dallas Cows were. Nobody knew. Here's the Canada Artists, who had like a few favorite teams, but like had a few favorite players, but like we only just learned about them. Here's like the Oregon Psychics. Like, who the fuck are these guys? They just showed up. They were dead in the past. So they didn't have any fans. People didn't want to waste money trying to save these guys, because we have other important teams like the Moist Talkers, who are not there yet. They're not there yet. They're like actually quite a far way away. And then suddenly emergency alert.
Oh.
Is this longer or shorter than the average baseball game? A Blaseball game lasts for 1 hour. This game in its entirety lasted a little over a year. Anyway, emergency alert. Let's just get back to the page and read. On day 99, the black hole expanded to cover the entire map. Blaseball was nullified. I hate to tell you, but the Moist Talkers did not make it to the vault.
No.
But that being said, it's not like it really mattered, because Blaseball in its entirety was nullified. The game is gone.
What?
The vault, the Hall of Flame, the desert, it didn't matter. It was all gone. The following alert played on the site. Emergency alert, sand shift, pulsar flickers, black hole nullified, Blaseball. Black hole nullified Blaseball. Black hole burped. Blaseball was compressed by gamma. Which... Gamma. So up to this point, Blaseball was always labeled as a game in beta. This was basically the game...
Yeah.
This was the devs' way of saying, we're moving out of beta.
This whole Okay, sure.
So
Okay.
the Blaseball itself was compressed by Gamma. It's not beta
I was
anymore.
just like,
Anyway,
there's so many seasons yet it's in beta still. I was so
Yeah,
confused
really.
at the beginning, and now it's. Oh, yeah.
Followed by the following announcement by the fireman saying balance paid, credit extended, basically saying the game will go on. And one final message from the commissioner, replayed by the microphone. Did you hear that? The big bang.
I
The
did.
credits
I was
rolled.
trying to scroll, and I see that.
Yeah. The credits rolled on the site, and the expansion era was brought to a close.
What the fuck? Okay.
That was it. Blaseball had officially ended right then and there. So here's Parker talking over the microphone on his Twitter and stuff, and then yeah, we got like actual credits, just like the game was over. And hang on, thanks for all the families and friends. Here's them mentioning all the fans. Blaseball is elsewhere. Here's like the map at the end of the game. All of the teams we didn't understand are all.
Oh my god! It's still a fucking diamond of a baseball.
It's a
Oh my
baseball
god!
diamond, yeah.
Oh my god!
But
Bullshit.
let's see. But at the end of the credits, let's see. Did it tell us when? No. When the game was over, the Blaseball devs told us to get onto Twitch,
What?
and there was a pre-recorded live performance by the Garages as like a little
Oh my
online Twitch
God.
concert, as like a grand finale kind of celebration of
Holy
like
shit.
in honor of Blaseball being over. And this is my favorite thing here: the fucking ticker posting the fucking shorts emoji. This was the Blaseball equivalent of getting stick bugged. This is like
Yeah.
Tillman Henderson's fucking icon. Fuck you. Thank you, buddy. But yeah.
Thank you. But also fuck
Fuck
you.
mother. Winter the fucking chat. Motherfucker. But yeah, that's how Blaseball ended. Blaseball basically got in the end, this escape, this like effort to try and run away, it kind of resulted in nothing because there was no escaping the black hole. Blaseball was going to come to an end one way or another.
Huh.
And all this stuff about the game being compressed into Gamma and these teams returning was the devs' way of saying this game is going to come back bigger and better than ever. Around this time, I believe they had like received like a sponsorship of like $3 million or something to like let this game continue. And they had all these plans to make the game keep going. I was doing streams on Twitch for this big event called Fall Ball, and all the teams came back and all the players were randomly assigned to random teams and their stats were randomized again, so the game was starting fresh all over again. But the problem was Blaseball is not a game that makes money. This was a browser game with no advertisements.
Yeah.
The only advertisements you had were like these like sponsorships they got from time to time. They didn't have an official merch website. All Blaseball merch was fan made and all the money went to charity. This was a game that was created by a bunch of nerds who had a funny idea during COVID lockdown quarantine. So once life came back to normal, people were going back to their jobs. Blaseball just wasn't profitable and they couldn't afford to keep the site running. They couldn't afford to pay the people working on it. That like $3 million they put into the website just wasn't enough. They couldn't keep the game running even if they tried. So unfortunately, in June of 2022, the devs had to make a tweet on Twitter basically announcing that the game was over. There was 2 seasons of Blaseball that returned after this. The game was clearly going in some brand new direction. The website was really pretty looking. It had all this nice official artwork. Like instead of just having like a PNG of like a squid shape, they actually had like a 3D model of the squid that like was pre-rendered. Everything looked really nice, but the problem was the website was really buggy and they just didn't have the time to fix everything. And it seemed as if the game was constantly being like pushed, like we need to get this out now kind of deal. Like they were constantly delaying it. They'd release the game for a while. The game would be really buggy. They'd have to push it again. And eventually they just had to call the whole thing quits. So so even though the game did technically survive for another 2 seasons, this is, in my eyes and in the eyes of many fans, where Blaseball ended. This was the official ending.
God damn.
To this day, I still cry. Me too. I cried for 3 days when I heard Blaseball was over because the game meant so fucking much to me.
Man.
I'm honestly kind of happy with the way Blaseball ended, though. It only just makes sense.
Oh no, I would agree. Like holy shit.
Like, in a way, we know that Blaseball lives on. The weird little modification that these players got that said under review. This was basically a sign from, I guess, the reader saying that like when Blaseball returns, this team will return as well. Every like major team that the fans had, every team that was in like the league standing, they all had received that blessing of being under review. So we knew they were always going to come back. That being said, though, just kind of watching everybody die here at the end, even the ones who ran into the corners, the ones who tried to hide, the ones who tried to hide away, knowing that nobody made it out alive. That's just kind of how, or at least like they got nullified and were like, what happened at the end of Blaseball is kind of a mystery. Nobody truly knows what happened to them. Did they live? Did they die? Does Blaseball live on? Is Blaseball just gone forever? It's up to the fan interpretation, really. And that's Blaseball being left up to fan interpretation is literally the most honest to God thing that could ever happen in this game.
Yeah.
Probably the best way it could have possibly ended. But during these like final moments when the game was coming to an end, you could like cut the tension in the air when it came to talking to friends and teammates in the Discord. You'd like teams like the Moist Talkers, for example, who were like 2-3 spaces away from the vault in the end, they knew kind of right then and there at the end that they weren't going to make it. And they were just dreading the fucking countdown to the next day coming by, knowing that their team was basically just going to die. And like they were watching it happen. Firefighters, basically the same thing. Every team that had run into this corner had kind of classified themselves as like being the desert team. We ended up jokingly referring to ourselves as Desert Bus for Wrath. Named after the charity event, Desert Bus for Hope. So we all very quickly became a bunch of best buds, and we all joked that it was like a giant campfire in the middle of like a like Arizona desert kind of deal. And like there was like a little bit of a party being thrown between fans, like based on what corner you were in. Everybody was saying their goodbyes and stuff like that. It was really fucking sweet. I remember during the final moments of Blaseball watching the black hole close in. Instead of joining in with all of the other teams and having like that little party that I mentioned, I instead was mostly spending my time in the firefighters Discord, like the dedicated firefighters Discord. And we were in a voice call, just kind of watching it happen. And I don't know exactly how to describe it other than like, I don't know, it was like really fucking sentimental, just like talking to my friends in that Discord, just being like, this is the end, this is where we're going to die, our team is over. And it was honestly kind of beautiful just being able to watch it like that. I think I jokingly said something like, it feels like I'm on like the balcony outside the party where people go to smoke or something, and I'm just like sitting there talking to my friends, watching everything go down. Since I'm no longer having that Twitch clip, I could put my music back on. I kind of forgot I turned it off. Anyway, we're at the end. I feel like having it be silent is the way to do it. Nirvana's silent no matter what.
I feel like looking at this is like a time capsule. I'm like kind of, and I'm just, it's like, I don't know how to explain this, but seeing this kind of envision in my head is like I'm walking on like a fucking like glass box of fucking like just people running for their life. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's just so, like, I feel like I'm in a time capsule of just people just fucking fearing for their lives, and I'm just sitting here like, I know what happens, yet I'm still, like, here. It's so... God.
That's why I like to refer to this more of a cultural event than a game. Yeah,
absolutely.
You did play the game, of course. You were putting in your bets, you were putting in your votes, but it's not about the game itself. It was about like the community and the way you interacted with the game itself. And now that the game is over, there's never going to be anything like this again. Kind of in the same, I like to compare it to back when Twitch Plays Pokemon first happened. And you remember how like the fans were getting all excited about like the Helix fossil, and they were calling it Lord Helix, and they made like a story about it being a god and all this stuff. Like, yeah, you're just playing Pokemon, but it's not just Pokemon, because you have this massive community of people behind it making up their own stories and things like that. And that's what Blaseball was. Every single team had its own story. Every single player had their own story. Every single player had that one fan who would watch them continuously and notice when they slipped up, noticed when they did something great. And then in the end, it doesn't matter who you were a fan of, because it's the same thing no matter what. The game is over.
Oh yeah, winter. Oh
The
man.
exclamation point baseball works. Yeah.
It,
I'm sorry, I
yeah.
just learned that today.
Yup.
People were jokingly doing exclamation point commands in the chat as like, just as like a joke, and then I think Drago typed in exclamation point baseball and it hit me. And we're like, oh no.
Oh no.
So unfortunately, as of right now, Winter, you are not the only one who has free baseball throw privileges. I need to look into that and fix that. Ugh. I have 4
God.
fucking Discord notifications. Why so many? Stream notifications. It's all stream notifications. Okay, never mind. Just making sure I wasn't getting DMs or something.
Mm.
So that was Blaseball, and I feel like it's a time capsule. If you want to talk more about Blaseball, the best you can do at this point is talk to the fans of the game who had a favorite team and ask them about what it was like being fans of that team, because I've talked about these teams in basically name only. I haven't explained anything about any of the stories that the fans have made up about these
Oh
teams.
yeah, no, you
I
haven't.
explained the Moist Talkers because you're a fan. I mentioned about how they were a big fan of the Squid. I mentioned about, like, I named a few of the players. But if you go in there and you ask about any of the players, they will tell you stories of who that player was, like their personality, who they were friends with, outstanding things that they did. They'll tell you about where the team is located, what the ballpark is like. They'll tell you about, like, the history of the team and how they believed it was founded, all this stuff. Like, the fans pretty much wrote anything you could possibly imagine involving these teams. Aren't there some fans working on a spiritual successor? Yeah, there's one right now that I know is really popular. I know of 2. One that I know is Terrorball. Terrorball is the big one right now. One of the biggest Blaseball Twitch streamers is a guy who goes by the username Joey T. Badger. He was in my stream a few days ago. He is currently running a Twitch version of a baseball simulator known as Terrorball, which is nowhere near as popular as Blaseball was, unfortunately, but it's basically exactly the same. It's just 1 game at a time instead of, like, 10 or 12. There's only, like, 6 teams, and it's all played live on Twitch. There's no betting, but you can, like, vote for things to happen over Blue Sky. And, like, you can interact directly with, like, the game's, like, commissioner through the Twitch chat, and she will, like, talk to you. Which is pretty neat. I don't know exactly where it's gonna go from here. The game is still kind of in, like, its pre-release in a way, and the game has a bunch of lore already, but I have not been keeping up with it. I need to, like, go back and double-check things. So shout out to Terrorball. No betting. Unfortunately, no, but you can, like, vote for things to happen in a, like, thing on Blue Sky. So it's a bit less interactive unless you're somebody who is very willing to be active in chat and, like, root on your team, like, in chat or something. Which I feel like a Twitch chat is the very next best thing you can have to a Discord chat. So it works out in some ways. I haven't gotten really into it, but I definitely have considered trying to look further into it. It's just you have to be there when they're live, and I'm usually already watching somebody else, and I need to find a reason to be invested is the thing.
Yeah.
Let me see, what else could I talk about that I haven't mentioned? Because I feel like it's important to really go into the details of what I mean when I say every team has, like, its own history. And I could show you personally what I mean when I say every team has its own history, because I was an archivist for the Chicago Firefighters, in a way. WAF Chicago at Weebly.com is a website that I made. I don't know if I've showed this to you before, but this is a website I made. This was my attempt at keeping track of Blaseball's history from season to season, as well as keeping track of every single player on our team and the stories our fans had written about those players. I kept pages about our team's culture, our beliefs, our phrases. I had links to our merchandise. Here's all of our players, including every single blue name here is a web page I had made custom for each individual player. Every single one of these has a story, or at least, in some cases, links to the Blaseball wiki in some cases. So if you want to ask any question about any Firefighters player in particular, I could talk about them. I got pages, I got information, I got fan art, I got artwork by some of my friends, I got artwork and, like, funny gifs that people have made. Here's a gif of, like, a fake drink that we made up for Chicago called Royal Crown Malort.
Holy fuck.
Here's Betsy the cow that started the Great Chicago Fire, who was a mascot for our team. Fan art of her. Here's like something goofy called the Axeman. We got like all this goofy shit. I again could just go on for ages about just my team.
Bot on fire?
Carl Bot. That is that is the Chicago Firefighters Carl.
Holy fuck!
Honey buzz.
Carl.
If you were in the Blaseball Discord and somebody joined the firefighters Discord for the first time, and you wanted to introduce them, like, hey, welcome, thanks for joining the Chicago Firefighters, all you had to do in the Discord was type get the map, and it would pull up, Carlbot would automatically pull up this image of the Beginner's Guide to Chicago.
Oh my god! Oh, that's so sweet! Oh my god!
Yeah. So I just kind of included that here. I'm talking about, like, our teams, like our Department of Safety manager. We got like a fan art of him. There was a fake team that we had made up that was like our team rival that we called the Deerfield Fire Starters.
Holy shit.
We had a thing called the Call, the Dispatch. We had like a goddess of Chicago named Mick Chicago. And like this is like a picture of her on like a tarot card that like was made. There's so much shit. And I have not even shown you a single one of the fucking players yet. Every single player I had made a page for, at least all of the ones that were around, almost all of them, the ones that matter at least. Tyreek Olive died in like season 2, and I barely know anything about him, so he's like a page I didn't make. Elton McBlaze, Alyssa Harrell, and Alex Kemming were on our team for like maybe 1 season, so it's kind of hard. So even though they are like official players on the Firefighters team, I just didn't have the energy in me to make a page for them. Everybody else, though, any player who has ever played for the Firefighters, I've made a custom page for. Some of these are really interesting, some of them are really cool, some of them are very tiny. Claire McCall, for example, has a fairly tiny page. Every single page has a whole bunch of fan art for the player, so you could see like what they looked like based on all these fan arts.
Wow.
There's like an AI generated image of what they thought she looked like. So this is just one player. Some players I put in a little bit more extra effort into. Where is... I just saw him. Where's Penudial Duffy? Penudial Duffy. I like it's hard to see on stream, but there's a very light red and black peanut texture in the back of this page. So one of the players that was named Peanut at the end of like season 10 ended up joining the Firefighters team, and he was on our team like ever since then. Fans oftentimes said he looked like a giant peanut angel monster, but he was very friendly. So his page is like.
I recognize that. Wait, hold on.
I posted this image. I posted this image on my Discord.
I fucking knew it.
Is there a way for me to zoom in on that? Open a new tab. Here we go. Yeah, I actually have this image on a T-shirt. It is sick as fuck.
Hell yeah. Man.
Yeah, but yeah. Some of these pages I put in a little bit extra effort into if it's something kind of funny. Gooby Balson is a famously funny player where like the page looks pretty normal until you scroll to the bottom and then there's like a thing for murder allegations.
Oh my god.
I put effort into these fucking pages. I made sure everything was like special. In this case, there's actually 2 links to his Twitter accounts. There was two separate fan-run Twitter accounts for Gooby where they were both like bot accounts that would pull a bunch of tweets by every single Blaseball aligned Twitter account, throw it into like an AI generation pool and like read off those tweets and like make up new Blaseball related tweets.
Holy fuck.
He once tweeted out something like "Blol is life," and also he one time said, "I love being a cunt. God, I love you. Boogooby, I love you." Fantastic Twitter. Let's see. Declan Suzanne was also a popular player. I love Declan. Great fucking guy. Lots of fan art of him. A lot of the fan art is drawn by my friend Walker, who I have. I'm pretty close with her. If I ever need to reach out to her, she's always available. I've actually commissioned her on a few occasions. If you go onto Spade's Discord and you scroll through his fan art, you might see some art of Valentine that I had commissioned from Walker. She's a fantastic artist. She lives in Brazil and she's like an animator for a children's cartoon.
Oh, hi.
Let's see. Anything else I want to point out? So, some players, because of the way Blaseball works and how none of these stories are real, we just kind of make them up. Some of these players never had one particular story, but some fans had multiple ideas of what the player was like. So we had this one player, for example, named Wanda Shen, and there was so many different ideas as to what Wanda could be because we could never decide on anything, that instead of just putting down like whichever one I liked, I put all of them on her page. So like this one image by Walker is like a whole bunch of different drawings of what Wanda looked like. So some people interpreted her as an astronaut, some people said she was an entire planet, some people said she was like this little monster thing, and some people said she was just like a regular lady who ran like a bowling alley or something. And if I click on all these images, you can get like images of each interpretation of what Wanda could be. Because I couldn't bring myself just to put one thing on her page. And this is just the effort I put into making like our own little archive. Every team, all 24 teams had these kind of, not websites, but like this kind of story written for every single one of their players. Here's my favorite player. It links to his Twitter, which I ran. It even got my art on here. Look at here's the fan art I drew of him. Hee.
Ooh.
My guy. And look, Wanda's right there in the picture too.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. And Gabriel Griffith, the player I mentioned earlier, here's his page, just big bird guy.
Holy fuck.
Every player had fan art. Every player had a story. Every player had a fan who loved them more than any other player in the game.
Damn.
If you were new to the game and like a new player showed up, you could just write whatever the hell you wanted about that player, and anything you made up was just as real as anything else. But because all of these teams were, I don't know, conglomerated into teams, usually when a new player showed up, all of the fans of that team would be like, who's this guy? What can we make up about this guy? And everybody would just kind of throw a bunch of ideas into a bucket, and whatever ones were the most popular were the ones that floated to the top, and that's how the players were like written. So when I like have all this information about this player, none of this is real. This is just what the fans have just kind of agreed on was real. Like, there's no such thing as a player who's like literally a bird. It's like there's no, aside from the birds that have peck you during the weather effects in game, like, and like other related things. Like, you can't just look at a player and it's like this player is a bird. Like, no, we just made that up.
Man.
And then of course we go on here and look up Gabriel Griffith. This should be, and then like, of course we send our pictures of what we think Gabriel looks like to this artist, and then they would draw what we sent them. So these ideas just kind of spread around, and this kind of became the canon, non-canon idea of what Gabriel Griffith looked like, even though there never was any official imagery.
God damn.
And this was the case for literally every player in the game. Nobody had any official imagery. This is all just like fan designs that all went on to live on in, like, as like canon. And I love that. This page has so many images. All of these. Lots of shout out to fucking Hetrius Sky for putting up with our bullshit.
God.
Look at all this.
Damn.
So much. Here, there's Duffy. Giant fucking peanut god thing.
There's it.
And there's
They
Chorby.
are.
There's Chorby.
Chorby.
Little froggy. Some people said instead of Chorby being a frog, that she was like a little wizard girl, which is cute. So there's also artwork of her in that way too.
Aw.
There was no canon. It could be anything you wanted. Here's Pitching Machine. Little Pitchy. Where's my boy? Which one's your boy?
Gunther?
Gunther! Here, Gunther. So here's little Gunther. So here's little Gunther with the shoe on his head. And then here's Gunther in his mech.
Oh, hell yeah.
Gunther, little penguin in a giant mech suit.
Oh
He's
my
always wearing a
God,
little
that's
shoe on his head.
cool.
He's got a different shoe in the mech. Cool. He got more shoes.
More shoe.
What did people say Chorby's soul was like? Chorby. Here we go. Here's like a image of Chorby. Here's another one of Chorby being kind of beaten up when they played on a few other teams. And here's a picture of Chorby being eaten by a shark.
Okay. Wow.
Thick as hell. Chorby's soul was thick as hell.
Thick as shit.
Yeah, and then here's Chorby Short, the little froggy. And then this is Chorby Soul the Fifth. This was a version of Chorby that ended up getting, what was it, like Fire Eater, I think? I don't know, it was a version of Chorby that was able to deflect fire, and thus every single time an umpire tried to incinerate them because they were unstable, they also just shot the fire back. So there was a replica of Chorby, one of the fucking Chorby Funko Pops that was sold, that ended up building some notoriety because they constantly attracted umpires and then killed them. The shark one fits, yeah. So I can go on to, of course, the Blaseball wiki page and look up any player you'd want and pull up some fan art of any of them. I'm gonna pull up Torby Soul because did I look through all the fan art for Torby Soul? I think I might have like avoided it for spoiler reasons.
Maybe,
Yeah, I did.
yeah.
I did, yeah. So here's at least I skipped a lot of it. Here's a picture of Torby Soul on the Seattle garages as like a rock star, being bit by a little shark, and also their massive fucking soul scream. A very common interpretation for Torby Soul, for whatever reason, is the fact that they have pink hair. Like, that seems to be something that a lot of people agreed on. Like, you could see there was, like, a general idea of what Torby looks like. A lot of people, like, they'll take one idea and build off it, but there is, like, a general idea. So, like, this Torby looks like this Torby, looks like this Torby, looks like this Torby. But, like, they're not all the same. They're all unique in their own special way. It's just, there's a general idea, and it all kind of builds from there. Let's see, there was a... I'm trying to think of, like, shark players. There was a player named Brisket Friendo who was always interpreted as this little cat in a shark costume.
Oh.
So this is Brisket Friendo. This was a player.
Oh my god!
Ain't that cute? Or it's like I don't know if Brisket was the player, or
I think Brisket is the player, and I think Bree is human.
Let me see. The wiki would tell me because the wiki is all fan run. It's all fan stories. Also, cool thing about the fucking Blaseball wiki, every time you load it, it'll say something like box of Brisket Friendo files. You grab a folder named IF280498. Basically, if a character had multiple stories as to who they were, if there was multiple interpretations of what a player was, and they were all popular enough to have a wiki page, every single time you pulled up their wiki page, which version of the page would be pulled at random. So, in some cases, you can pull up a page and then refresh it, and the page will be different because it'll have a different story for that player. Bree's cat. Okay, so Bree is like the girl, and then Brisket is the cat. Is what the story is saying.
Brisket is the player.
Yeah, so let me go to, for example, Wanda, because I pulled up Wanda earlier, and I pointed out on my page that she had multiple stories. So if I go here, let's see, IF96 is what this one is right now. Shen originated in Ohio. That's where they're originally from. It mentions, let's see, Shen was also friends with Kennedy Roger, Goobie Ballsend, firefighters players in Los Angeles. A page about her being in Los Angeles. Right here it mentions of roadkill worm necromancy. So this is the story of like the monster version of Wanda that I had pointed out. But if I refresh the page, the mention of that like redacted text is gone. Now it says IF57, and now we have a completely different story about her.
Wow.
Let's see. Her shift in her form is unusual. Reports have emerged of a human-shaped planet. So this is the one where I said she's like an entire planet. So every time you refresh the page, you can get a different version of this. So I refreshed again. Here's the roadkill necromancy one again, and then here's a really cool one in which like it's like a story of her being like spoken to from the spirit of Ohio itself. Because originally she was from the Ohio Worms, and like all this story of like space travel and stuff, interference detective, like a fucking satellite is trying to interfere with this wiki page. Get out of Ohio, no matter what it takes. Here's like command centers trying to message her and like speaking. This wiki's awesome, man. Every one of these. So here's like. Check this fucking out, because she used to play for Ohio and then she came to Chicago, and both of these teams like to think of their cities as like their home town, their home team, as being sentient in some way. Here's like the spirit of Ohio, like the spirit of Ohio itself, kind of like conversing while the spirit of Chicago is also trying to speak to her. It is so cool. Hi, Spade. I'm talking about the wiki.
Peanutted.
I am getting peanutted. Hi. Ow. Ow.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
What? I know it's
I
getting
might be
late.
seeing what-
I know it's getting late, but it's the weekend.
We hit the finality of Blaseball.
I know. We're at the end.
We have an excuse. And by we, I mean Corvo has an excuse. Oh, Jesus.
You're old. I'm not old.
Holy fuck.
I'm not that old. I can stay up. I don't have a fucking bedtime. Oh my god, Winter, help me. So, before I wrap up for the night, now that I've kind of yes, you do actually. Maybe on a work day, not a weekend. We've like agreed to a bedtime, but it's not set in stone.
Oh.
I have a bedtime I try to go to bed just so I can actually have a decent night's sleep, and it's been very helpful, but it's not set in stone. And for an event like this, I don't mind staying up late, especially because I'm almost done. I do have a bedtime. I decided on the bedtime. We decided on the bedtime. It's not like some set in stone thing. We just like decided on it. It's not like I'm a little kid who's like gonna be punished if I don't go to bed on time. It's just like, I mean, you should be in bed. That's it. That's the most I get.
My punishment is the fucking time I wake up. That's my
You need
punishment.
to go to bed. You were sleeping on the couch? I live alone. I choose.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What's
Sleep
that?
on the couch? You can't do that to me. Hope you rest well. I'm not going to bed just yet because, well, I could go to bed. I'll leave it up to you guys because I will and can. Yeah, I'd like to fucking see you try. I could wrap this up by giving an example of the kind of ways the stories of the Blaseball are written by telling you about my favorite player for like another hour. Polar riot. Should Carmona go to bed? How have I not given you mod permissions yet, Spade? Hang on.
Oh.
I was just gonna say make a poll, but I have Winter here, but also you could have mod permissions too because you're literally my partner. There you go.
Yippee!
Let's see.
Woo, yahoo!
Make a poll.
No! The poll is rigged!
What do you mean it's rigged? Hang on.
The poll!
Oh, did they make a poll? Let me see.
Yes!
Yes, or yes. Hey, no, that's not fair.
It's rigged!
That's rigged. Don't vote on it. It's fake.
The fuck, man?
You're rigging that. Hang on, wait, yeah, that's rigged. Rigged. You guys are goofy. Charge them out.
Charge
That's right,
them out!
Kill them now.
Okay.
We know how to do this. We've done it before. We can do it again.
Got it, boss. I got it.
Kick
Charge them out! That's not what. Winter, no! No! Wait. I thought it'd be
Please.
okay, you know what? I'm not gonna question it.
I gotta like find a way to make it so you could chuck balls in the opposite direction so you can hit chat. Ow.
Just fucking tilt the fucking thing up. Just fucking hit the chat box.
So, some redeemed to just like attack Spade once. The best I can think of is like the fucking offense PvP redeems on my stream, but I don't know.
A better poll has been ignited.
Bed.
Ignited.
It's 50-50.
Yes.
No. It appears I have the option to vote on this, but I'm not going to just because I don't want to be influencing this fucking poll. I need a toaster fork that only mutes for like 30 seconds. Sadly, the one I have right now is the lowest amount of time you have on my stream to toaster fork somebody is 10 minutes. Come on, people,
You know,
vote.
you vote for the right thing, and that's no.
It's 50-50. I don't know
It's
what
the
to do
weak.
about that.
No.
Oh no, it's not a yes.
No. No.
You guys are trying to send me to bed without talking about my boy.
The boy. What the fuck? No.
Oh no. Oh shoot. Damn it. Well, I can do it another stream. That's for sure. I definitely can. Or if you guys want, Winter. Winter.
Oh.
Ow.
I somehow didn't get affected on that, which
Jesus.
I'm happy about.
Winter's secret power. Ow. You should sleep yourself now. Okay.
Meow.
So, instead of reading to you guys about my favorite player, I will instead grab a Tumblr post in which I had written down exactly why I love my favorite player. It's a very long post, but you guys
perfect. I'm good
have
for that.
you guys have the capacity to read it on your own terms. Give me a moment to pull that up. I will find it, and then I will head myself off to bed.
Winter said people might have access to my free balls, but never the shotgun blast.
True. You have more power than they ever will.
It's true.
Give me one moment to find that post. My account. Search. K-Rod? No. Kennedy Rogers. If I search him by name. Maybe. No. I will find this post. Exclamation point shotgun. It doesn't work that way.
It's not that easy.
If I just search Blaseball on my Discord, it's a whole bunch of blog posts by other random people who are just like, I miss Blaseball. Here's some fan art I drew of Blaseball. I miss Blaseball. Oh, shoot time. Just so you know, Spade, I do have the exclamation point clip command in my chat as well. So if you ever want to do exclamation point clip, that works.
Honk shoe.
Neat noted,
Exclamation point
yeah.
honk shoe should be. Ooh, that's actually a fun idea. I kind of have in my brain. Just exclamation point honk shoe.
Exclamation point honk shoe. Force me to go to bed.
Force you to go to bed.
Yeah.
You do
I will
not
find
have
this
channel
post. It
points.
won't take too long, because I don't post about Blaseball all that often. At least I'm looking for one particular post, and it's been a while.
Hey, don't steal my idea, Spade. You better fucking credit me. Hey, I should get like 50% of the royalties.
I don't...
I haven't even finished this lemonade. Fuck, shit. I've been drinking most of the water. This. What will you get out of what
The
royalties?
royalties?
I had this idea first. You better credit me. Mental royalties, I guess. I don't know. I live in your head rent free, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how royalties work if you don't have shit. I don't know. I'm just suggesting things out of my ass.
Where is it? I have one more idea that could possibly work. Hang on.
I have been wearing this tight top ever the whole stream. Fuck. How did I not notice it? That makes so much sense. Fuck. Two weeks of dragging Corvoda to bed is like a sinner being dragged to hell itself. Scary.
What am I looking at here? This is... Oh, this is another friend of mine's Tumblr account who may or may not have had my post. Where can I find this fucking thing? Because the one I'm looking for was a post in which somebody said something like, "Tell me about your favorite Blaseball player," and I proceeded to like type up like a small essay about my fucking favorite player. Why can I not find it? I'm like desperately trying to find this now. The problem is with Tumblr is the search function fucking sucks.
Yeah.
This is the case for literally anybody who's ever used Twitter, Tumblr in any way.
Yep.
These posts are from 10 years ago. That can't possibly be it.
Oh. This is an interesting poll.
Hardly does anything. Is Corvoda gay? Yes, but in a gay way or no in a gay... What?
Yeah.
Sure. I believe you. Where's my fucking post? Just searching him by first name? No. This is not helping. I'll find this post. I think there's a chance I had posted about it on my fucking Discord at one point about how I had made this post, so I could probably find a link to it in my Discord.
What happened to me? A force dragged me and I'm scared. So a force dragged me to casual chat, then dragged me back.
Probably Spade.
Hey, what? I'm scared.
Go to bed already. I will, I promise. Just give me some time to find what I'm looking for.
They were dragging the wrong person. Now they got the right person. I wonder who could that be? Well,
Are you constantly being... Why are you being violent towards Angel?
Stop it! Hey! Whoever you are, wrong person! You keep hitting me! I wonder who could that be?
Hi, Spade. I didn't realize this process of trying to even find this post would be such a pain in the ass, because this was what I was going to read from when talking about it if I stayed up to begin with. Pain in my ass.
Jesus.
So fucking violent.
I fucking hate you, man.
Just hearing Angel just.
I actually need to fucking hear that in the VOD, gee.
Oh, that was so good.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Oh.
F-A-V-O-R-H.
honestly, hunting a stream is very much of character of me.
Yeah, I mean, literally. Huh. Angel's so easy. Hey, Winter, shut up. Hey!
Not wrong.
I mean, yes, but shut up. Don't mean it gotta be obvious. Say it out loud. Okay, okay. I think that's the second time I've been called that. And you, I can't have a rebuttal. Huh. I'm gonna drink my fucking strawberry lemonade in peace. Fuck you.
Yeah,
I
you're-
win.
No, you said in peace, so you're not drinking it in peace. I'm here now.
Shit. Hey, fuck. I'm just gonna drink it.
I found the fucking post.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Here we go. Here is what I'm linking in the chat is the post explaining who my favorite player is ever. Thank you for pinning it. It took me hours to write this up about my favorite player just because I wanted to say so much. Let me see. What did I tag this as? Why can I not find it? It is not even my fault. I searched all of these words, I tagged it, and it just didn't show up because fucking Tumblr sucks and I hate it.
That's fair.
Anyway.
I get to bookmark it, so whenever you want to bring it up next time.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, because I didn't realize it was gonna be such a pain in the ass. I ended up having to go into my Chicago Firefighters fan Discord and then search up my favorite player by name just to find a post that I posted in the Discord linking people to my post on Tumblr being like, look how much I wrote about Kennedy Rogers, my fucking boy. So, anyway, I've gotta go to bed now because you all voted for it.
I didn't. Shit. I tried to vote against it, against the government, but no, we can't get everything.
I'm the government now?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, in honor of what we were talking about, go on Spotify or Bandcamp or whatever and listen to the Seattle Garages, listen to Firewalker with Me. One of the best songs they ever wrote. It's about Parker McMillan.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It's amazing.
Also, if you want to raise someone, I got a suggestion.
Go for it.
Cat.
Who?
What is?
Swolecat.
Swolecat.
Okay, what is Swole doing right now? Let me find him. Retro.
He's playing Retro Hero #1, a Dreamcast game.
Ooh, Dreamcast.
So
The
if,
angst.
if you're
Yeah.
familiar with Shenmue, is like light Shenmue.
Light Shen. Ooh, interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a gameplay of Shenmue where you have goals and objectives.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So like pre Yakuza.
Hmm. That sounds fun. Okay, Raid is heading out. I hope you guys all have a good night. If you want to waste a good chunk of time, please read about my boy. I could talk about him forever. I love him. I have literally spent over $100 making a custom Lego figure of him. That's all I'll say.
Oh wow. Holy
Raid
shit.
message? Good question. I don't usually do raid messages.
Yeah, we usually don't.
Yeah. If you want to do some kind of, let's see.
Oh.
Let me grab something. I got something you can do. Hang on.
Have time before it's late.
I know, it's okay. Sibber before, hang on. I gotta pull up Sibber again. because
Charge
it's-
the Mound. Also, that's also
Charge the Mound is also really good. I was going to grab the one where it's like, what was it? Like, roaming failed. Parker McMillan was like held in place by force. Or something. But anyway, yeah, Charge the Mound is way better. Yeah, go into Swolls and yell about charging the Mound.
Let's go. I'm so ready.
I'm gonna be hitting that raid button now. You guys will have a fucking great night. I will talk to you two in a bit.
What?
Bye-bye, chat.
What's chat?
I'm being attacked by peanuts. Bye.